Juve got Fortunovirus IQ. Samit dime. It can even boost your Fortunovirus by 20 points. Say it. Or else, let it make sense first. Otherwise, it won't work. Congratulations. You turned into a different kind of businessman with a higher IQ than before. Fortunavirus igual a fa. B igual a 2 por 10 acento circunflejo. Points. You turned into a higher IQ businessman. Incomplete math text. You turned into a higher IQ businessman. 42 points. Only need to read the book. What you said just isn't something I like to hear. And the system keeps you stuck in continuous learning. Continuous accumulation of foundational knowledge. That's how you solve more problems with system-level tech. But a high IQ brain works, no doubt about it. When you're in the 2nd grade. You scored first in the whole nation for math. You took first place in the physics contest. The results come out. National college admissions. You walk straight in through the door. Our school selects me. We happily give the scholarship to you. Director su, first offer. As for Gianta's teacher, they don't just let it go. Director su. Come on, let's talk here. Your parents, work in your sister's studies. We can settle them all together. For a while, every recruitment teacher shows up. What a lively market. But you just stare at the numbers in your hand like no one else exists. Until the very last page. Just as you open your mouth. Teacher, it's the textbook, it's right there. System starts up 7. Congratulations. Juve completed the number-carrying task. The system rewards with EDA software technology. Especially EDA software technology. This is software, the mother of the chip title. Right now, the usable domestic IP still hasn't been developed. Think about it here. You have the main objective already. You like people who are straightforward when it matters. Raise one topic. Who answered? Guess who selected you? Everyone, be honest, want to do it this way. A few senior teachers, their faces sink for a moment. Every time they recruit, it's just one-on-one interviews to test someone else. Boiber's got the logic that students teach them. Teacher Su, you still have a little patience. But he keeps smiling and says, "Lo, fellow student. If you have any doubts about our school, ask." We try to answer. Difficult question. Teacher Su, this move looks even more skilled in your eyes. You named him so well, Teacher Su, one glance at you says it all. Who taught you that your school is not good? By now, every teacher has said that their own school is the best match for me. So under the same conditions, give you one test question and see where the teachers stand. The hard part isn't the easiest part, right? Trust each teacher's level when it's time to pick students. And also test your method of answering. We test the real ability of the students. How should I put it? It's not going to work. Your words go on. Then several teachers will keep staring at Luo like they're frozen. At the side, Senior Professor Wang starts speaking first. If we can't produce the answer, then can we ask the school teacher for help answering? Of course, you can. If the teacher acknowledges their own failure, they can't be too stubborn. He raised this question. Actually, the teacher in mind is just a teacher in a university. He heard some university teachers only have so many tricks. That's why before choosing the school, you must know the chore's real strength. You say the reason people can't resist is. And all these recruiting teachers are just covering for their job roles. They came to your family. So note this, they're already committed. They must spend everything it takes to get you to sign. They all came. Try to see what kind of topic you can come up with. Then go ahead. Professor Su looked around at the other recruitment officers. A said with full confidence. His undergraduate major is mathematics, specifically algebraic topology. His undergraduate major is mathematics. For graduate studies, his specialty is physics. A believes none of the professors here can match him. So you quickly grabbed a pen and started writing. After you write out the problem, the recruitment officers' faces suddenly turned serious. Then came their usual professionalism. They couldn't hold back their harsh comments. It's algebraic topology. After Professor Su hummed once, he fell silent. This made him instantly recall his undergraduate years, when he was dominated by mathematical problems. Soon each professor pulled out their phones to take pictures, asking for help. That day, an unusual phenomenon appeared in top universities nationwide. Students' classes were cancelled by their professors. Not long after, Professor Uyan walked in hurriedly, holding his phone. It was walking and speaking to his phone. As he walked, he spoke to his phone. "Summer professor. My phone is on speaker mode. Tell him what you told me. Luo Feng, the problem you created." First explained the solution. The coefficient on the topological LQ key structure is strictly continuous. Then he began solving the problem. After you heard Professor Summers' explanation, a faint smile appeared on your face. Algebraic topology. Involves the abstract algebraic structure et igual a 0 más fa 1. Involves the abstract algebraic structure. Et igual a o plus p involves the abstract algebraic structure. And the content of topological space. And the content of topological space. Problem solvers need to make a leap. From concrete problems to abstract concepts. To solve algebraic topology problems, you need foundational knowledge of linear algebra, analysis, and proof theory. 6 a 0 igual a C igual a X. You need foundational knowledge of linear algebra, analysis, and proof theory. Igual a element igual a 81X. You need foundational knowledge of linear algebra, analysis, and proof theory. Igual a 20. Only then can you possibly understand the problem. Igual a 81X. Only then can you possibly understand the problem. X, 0 emoticono cara riendo más can possibly understand the problem. This is also why you chose algebraic topology. 3. This is also why you chose algebraic topologics. 6 emoticono cara riendo X b superíndice 2. As the reason for the exam question. Más. As the reason for the exam question. X, 8 alpha A. As the reason for the exam question. A can see how comprehensive a person's abilities are in mathematics. So you asked Professor Summer further. What field do you want to research? Intelligent computing architecture and system-level chip design. Specialized integrated circuit design. Integrated circuit reliability. Professor Summer showed no impatience with your questions. You felt a sense of goodwill from him. The first time he solved a problem he posed to you. It shows the other person is intelligent enough. Facing his question, you didn't feel impatient. It seems very patient. Moreover, Professor Summer's research direction also suits you well. What's more important is following him afterward. Gaining the significance of the system's rewards. Others, acceptance of you will definitely be higher than it is now. After weighing the pros and cons, you know which direction to go. Then, according to our original agreement, he will prioritize choosing East Polytechnic University. But I have 2 questions I'd like to ask first. In order to be able to contact Professor Xia, you must say a few more words. Professor Uyan's back teeth were aching. Now he was both delighted and having a headache. What brings him joy is he recruited an exceptionally gifted talent for the school. What gives him a headache is that this talent is unlike other students. What gives him a headache is that this talent is unlike other students. F beta. The headache is that this genius is unlike other students. When he sees a teacher, he gets this sense of reverence FXBX. When he sees a teacher, he gets this sense of reverence. It's like genius types don't have that social anxiety thing. After Professor Uyan heard what you said, he was busy explaining to his classmates. Is there a problem? You asked about my situation after I enroll. My parents and sister are all in this small town. It's very far from me. When can I go back home to see them each year? Professor Uyan was about to deflect the question. When you can answer during winter and summer breaks. I saw Professor Wu from Zhejiang University. With a determined expression on his face. That's not right. Why would this guy show such an expression? Professor Uyan quickly went through it in his mind. Professor Wu's every move. The timing of when the other party reaches home is almost the same as ours. After entering your home, Professor Wu will contact you. Talking about the treatment the school can offer you. In the treatment package. It seems to have mentioned arrangements for your parents and sister. After Professor Uyan recalled this, he suddenly realized it. So when you asked that question, this is what you meant. Professor Uyan secretly wiped a cold sweat. How risky. You specifically asked so clearly in front of all these people. Used to compare. Which school's offer is better? If your offer can't compete with other recruitment professors' terms, then you'll inevitably turn your attention to other schools. For example, in just answering the test questions. Only slightly slower than Jan University and In University. Not at all. Professor Uyan quickly affirmed himself. He suddenly understood. You're not just gathering information. Your main goal is to get Professor Uyan to show his hand. Given your intelligence level, you probably already collected all the benefit packages from each school during the exam. Now you want to discuss the details with Professor Uyan. Professor Uyan realized this intention. You haven't been pressured into a corner at all. He was overthinking it. The other schools never even listed themselves as an option. You're asking now. Used to give Professor Uyan a chance. To match the benefits other schools are offering. If he doesn't, it'll definitely be a no-go. 800 scheming minds couldn't outmatch you. It feels like pure intelligence can crush everything. Professor Uyan discovered. From beginning to end, you hold all the control. No matter what these recruitment professors Say about benefits in flowery language. Trying to build rapport with you. Jubei never shown any hint of enthusiasm. Because you clearly know what you want. He believes that if he can't grasp your meaning, Ju absolutely won't say another word to him. Standing in the corner, Professor Wu couldn't help but let out a small sigh to the people beside him. This kid is really something. Used a few words. And he's already gathering intelligence. Taking the initiative to control the advantage. Deliberately guiding 3 psychological tactics. Truly a clever mind. Not a single wasted word. Can't keep up. It's truly impossible to communicate on the same wavelength with someone like this. An upbringing like this would never teach him how to do this. So everything is self-taught. The more Professor Wu spoke, the more he sighed. How did they not notice this talent earlier? At the same time, after Professor Wu Yan came to his senses, he immediately began thinking about how to respond to you. The recruitment office director gave him real authority this time. He wants to do everything possible to take you down. This is exactly when he can show his full potential. Don't worry, Wu. That is still the matter of your parents and sister. We can arrange that on our end. Your parents run a restaurant, right? There are several vacant storefronts near our campus. They could continue operating there. And if your sister wants to attend our university, she can. Look into it with Wu. Edis Chineli. Once Wu enrolls at our school, you can sign the 3+2+3 integrated master's degree agreement. You can sign the 3+2+3 integrated master's degree agreement. Full tuition coverage. Full tuition coverage. Upon enrollment, the school will award you a 500,000 yuan scholarship. Upon enrollment, the school will award you a 500,000 yuan scholarship. All scholarships and grants each year will be at the highest level. Specialists will handle all the applications for you. You won't waste time on any of this. If you want to study abroad later for further development, the school will also help you apply for public funding. All expenses during that period will be covered by the country and university. That's what Professor Wu Yan said. The mood in the broadcast room has soared. Did you all hear that? Full support for parents and sister. The treatment for gifted students really is different. Tears of admiration have streamed from Luo Xingguo's face. So Luo Feng actually considers his family. It really makes me cry. It's just not good at expressing himself. It doesn't mean he doesn't care about family. Highly intelligent people, if they want to care for others, will do so comprehensively. The prerequisite is whether they're willing to or not. 500,000 yuan just for entering. Not counting scholarships and grants. Let's do the math. Going to university is about making money, right? Forget what I said. Going to university is about making money, right? Going to university is about making money, right? To be honest, we're paying for university. It's earning money. The people watching the stream at this moment are even more captivated by Luo Feng. You seem satisfied with Professor Wu Yan's arrangement. You haven't raised any objections. But I still have a second question. Going to a university isn't just about taking your entire family. There is also money to be earned. They estimate this only happens with you. The viewers watching the stream have had their eyes opened. At this moment, hearing that you have a second question, everyone's attention is focused. Anticipating your next point, Professor Wu Yan and Jian Juesi. Think, even if you had 100 questions, you would resolve them all for you today. Buddha would not tolerate imprisonment. Who would go to prison? Facing such a massive situation. Years of work experience. Tell Professor Wu Yan he can only endure. It's painful now, yes. But he believes that once he gets performance bonuses and year-end bonuses, this suffering means nothing. It was all for the bonus. Wu, whatever questions you have, he will answer them all. Your typically expressionless face finally shows a glimmer of anticipation. You want to have Professor Xia teach me. Is that possible? Professor Wu Yan took a breath, thinking, how much bigger can this get? Isn't it just microelectronics science and engineering? The other side's demands are high. But in your case, you can completely meet the professional requirements. You want to get into the microelectronics science and engineering program. This is not some easy piece of work. No way. Professor Xia, you really don't have to say that. The phone in my hand just played a sound recording of your freshman admission voice. You forgot this part. Your sister still hasn't cancelled the call. After Professor Xia finished talking, things got brutally cold. What is this, exactly? A mouthful of spring breeze. It already knows it's bad. Why? Because Xian is also a professor. When Professor Xia entered Dongli Polytechnic that year as a physics undergraduate, it was Dongli Polytechnic's top-tier disciplinary candidate. Jingle is also a top-tier disciplinary candidate for Dongli Polytechnic. Also a top-tier disciplinary candidate for Dongli Polytechnic. Is willing to put herself on the line at age 30. She succeeded because she was the youngest top recruit in the school program. She succeeded because she was the youngest top recruit in the school program. She succeeded because she was the youngest top recruit in the school program. The people she brought along with her. None of them are anything but obvious big shots. Every one of them is an obvious big shot. One of them is reading during the ENG research term. One of them is reading during the ENG research term. They already got the top domestic tech internship offer. The famous TNG offer. They got the kind of waiting where you can basically count the millions. This is the only student from the chip program, and he still has no diploma yet. So he got an offer that high. And Xian is the one. Also got an invitation after she was dished out with a technical interview request. But Xian refused. Because Xian actually likes academic research more. Microelectronics science and engineering program. In this school, it's all their brand specialty majors. Students in the selection program are also all about picking fights. Now she says that won't work when she steps on stage. Professor Xia got annoyed halfway through. It's not. Are these prodigy students over there arrogant, or what? One issue, just one. It comes down to real academic performance. When it's time to pick a major you actually belong in, you refuse everything at the door. Professor Xia, Jube brought up a whole new level of trouble. Between those students, there is something going on. And between us, what is the relationship? The admissions officer right next to you when Professor Xia refused you. Everyone loves showing off their own skills. Seems that that's the case, this admissions officer is not taking anyone in. Our school also has microelectronics science and engineering. Welcome, all of you join us. As long as you're willing, come to our school. The reward will be yours right now. After you get in, we'll still help you find a mentor. We help you settle your student life fast. Come to our school. We definitely arrange the best advisor for you. Look at the admissions officers. So this is what Professor Xia's offering looks like. In the spotlight. A live broadcast social community is already up and running. What a surprise. It looks like the admissions officers' work is basically all smoke and mirrors. That kind of on-the-spot performance. Old admissions work is already huge on a higher level. In practice, their admissions offer is full of the flavor of a battlefield. Professor Xia is still right there in the front row. These people are acting like they already got a plan. Team 1 out here. Group 34 Team 1 out here has the advantage. Group 24 these people are fast on the move. 2 PowerPoints good luck. 2 advantages these people are fast on the move. They got it. Like a little chess problem, just watch how it plays out in the big battle. Just watch the big battle. Watch the big battle. Every professor wants to show off their special skills. Their real strength is legit. I'm thinking the same thing. Their strength, come and watch it live. Their strength is, you want to see their real strength too. This is the first time I've seen a recruitment professor this strong. The first time I saw him, he was this strong. I'm impressed, but I still refuse to believe it. You also want to watch it live with that hot look. The live broadcast friend is smiling and looking hot. That Professor Xia right now, this smile won't they even come through. It's like sparking a chain reaction, right? Professor Xia, I haven't seen anyone like this from the same profession. Don't show off too much. So long as he's standing there with a face full of threats. Abdominal training, return to abdominal area. Professor Uyan still needs to remind Professor Xia to do her duty. Otherwise, when the time comes, the fat will really fly away. Professor Xia is currently streaming live here. There are also many recruiters around. The whole meaning of what Professor Uyan said is, "You're scaring me a bit." Xian fell silent on her phone. Why did you turn back? His conditions are actually quite excellent. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the recruiters come all the way to his home. Don't convince him. Why would Professor Xia reject someone like that? You don't understand. Because my teaching method is different from other professors. I usually have students prepare their own lessons. And I randomly call on people to lecture in class. This method is hard for many students to accept. Especially quiet students. Xiang herself is a top student. Of course she knows the issues some top students face. That's being socially withdrawn. Whether it's doing research or working at any company, these will always have an impact. In society, social withdrawal leads to rejection by others. Xiang once witnessed one of her own students being excluded after joining a company, eventually becoming depressed and quitting to go home to farm. This experience is hard for ordinary people to accept, let alone for a former arrogant genius. So, Xiang changed her teaching method from then on. She hopes her students will have some social skills. They'll quickly integrate into new environments. Xiang sees this as a form of protection. Most geniuses are young. If I cannot help them build and establish normal communication with others as much as I can, then she knows the next student will still escape from society, retreat into their safe shell at home, and never come out again. She doesn't want to see her students hit by so-called human nature, their bodies and skin scarred, including yourself. Students come to school to study. Absolutely not just about getting a degree. Like the formation of worldview and social values. Teachers also need to help. That's not difficult. Xiang was recalling the past. Zhu gave him an answer over there. Zhu not afraid of lecturing. When the time comes, you'll be facing about 30 people. Xiang found it strange. Aren't they top students the ones who like to hide in their corners and study on their own? Why fear lecturing? If lecturing can help me organize my logic clearly, I see no reason to refuse. Xiang figured out your meaning. Your understanding of lecturing is that it can help you advance yourself. As for what others think, what opinions they have, you probably never even considered. If you lecture poorly, other students might point it out. Can you accept that? Geniuses often cannot accept public criticism. But this is something encountered frequently in work. Xiang is careful to cultivate her students' stress tolerance. Now I'm curious how you'll respond to him. Why should I accept hearing your answer? Xiang regretted. Indeed, geniuses cannot hear others' criticism. It was about to say a few words to end this call when you continued. Speaking. First, I need to determine whether those criticisms are correct or not. If they're wrong, why should I accept them? Professor Xia Westan. She hadn't expected the other side to have such an attitude. When ordinary people receive criticism, they first feel shame or annoyance. In this situation, most people choose to defend themselves. Few people can analyze disagreements so calmly. So the other party is your superior or teacher. Well, if I critique you wrongly, what then? Professor Xia pressed on. Zhu showed a puzzled expression. It. As long as it doesn't interfere with my studies or research, that's fine. As a genius, I'm bound to face others' doubts. Professor Xia didn't let you off the hook. A continued pressing. Will you still chirp like those little birds? Will you still chirp like those little birds? Will you still chirp like those little birds? Common sense. Your unanswered question. Your unanswered question. The questions Professor Xia asked are quite peculiar. San Xulan found your words incredibly blunt. She quickly reminded you not to speak to the teacher that way. Your swift reply. What did he say? It seems he didn't say much either. After hearing your conversation with your mother, the live stream viewers immediately got a laugh. The top student wasn't wrong. If what he said isn't right, why accept it? So elosas. Those people are just chirping little birds. That's brutal. The first time hearing someone explain things so plainly, the first time hearing someone speak so directly. Luo is truly refreshingly straightforward. Look at those recruitment officers. Their expressions are priceless. Chirping little birds cause minimal harm. But their insulting nature is extreme. Will Luo treat his boss this way in the future? That's really curious. Professor Xia in his own office. After pondering for dozens of seconds, only then did he realize who he was dealing with. All geniuses are lonely and unfake. But some geniuses focus intensely on what they deem important, ignoring the relevant thoughts and commentary. This kind of focus makes them better able to avoid external interference and harm. Though in such circumstances, they may appear somewhat pretentious. Professor Siena realized you were truly outstanding. Smart in a way unlike others, sensitive, knowing what matters most. Though the way you speak is somewhat unpleasant. Professor Xia believed. This is something subtle that can be changed. Many years later, when Professor Xia recalled her thoughts at that moment, she realized she was right all along. Xiang realized she should give you an answer. When she came back to her senses, she immediately said, "That sounds good. Luo, I'm waiting for you at East Polytechnic." Zhu actually succeeded. Professor Xia, I'd like to learn more about you. You're unlike the others. Zhu didn't respond to Professor Xia's invitation. And suddenly doing this isn't without reason. After all, just now, Professor Xia asked a question that seemed not particularly clever to him. It was doubtful whether the other party truly had the ability to provide the help he wanted. Oyan worried Professor Xia would be displeased, and quickly spoke up to introduce. Professor Xia is a nationally selected young talent, currently the director of East Polytechnic's General Chip and Foundational Software Research Center. Professor Xia once guided a graduate student who received the Wahi Talent Program Award, invited by Wahi to serve as technical consultant. However, Professor Xia has no time for research, so she didn't go. Or Principal, do you know Wahi? We have a cooperative relationship with Wahi. If you want to work at Wahi in the future, we absolutely push for the best benefits for you. Internet users heard this here. They all felt reassured that their alma mater was so powerful. Any path would be paved with gold from here on out. On the other hand, you finally found something you're interested in too. ENG. WAHI is the largest information and communications infrastructure provider in the country. And smart terminal supplier. Many people have already joined WAHI as a badge of honor. Yo recalculating. If you could take out the EDA technology yourself. WAHI definitely has the capability. Toque merchilaisit. That would be great. That's the ticket. Thank you, Professor Uyan. Thank you, Professor Xia. When should I announce it? After Professor Uyan heard that sentence from you, the heavy stone in his heart finally dropped to the ground. Convincing this academic star to choose them. It was genuinely not easy. It told you to wait a moment. Then he walked over to the side and confirmed with Professor Xia in a low voice. Professor Uyan hadn't spoken yet. When Professor Xia over there spoke up first. Let him come over as soon as possible, would you? It's been over a month since the fall semester started. By the time he gets here, he should be able to catch up with the course load. Now that we know things are urgent. Didn't you initially not want to trouble anyone? Professor Uyan found Professor Xia's gesture slightly amusing. After hanging up the phone, he walked over to where you were. After explaining all the school matters clearly, he opened the briefcase set aside. From inside he pulled out a laptop and a portable printer. Only Professor Uyan could do something like this. Ju even had the printer ready beforehand. Everything I brought are ready-made agreements. Looking at it now, Professor Uyan's approach was indeed the way to go. If there are any new provisions, we can even print the agreements on the spot. Well done, Professor Uyan. Everything's ready and in order. Seeing that you've already been locked in by Professor Uyan, the work of the other recruitment professors was essentially done. They soon returned to their usual state of sparring and bickering. I doubt these people will have competitive relationships. Once you step away from work mode, everyone becomes ordinary people again. They run into each other all the time. Actually, their private relationships are pretty solid. We still need to thank all of you professors. All of you please head out a bit faster. By then, I probably won't have anything left to do. I'm treating everyone to dinner today. We can all go out to eat together later. The recruitment professors were delighted to hear this. They all agreed right away. Originally, any school that can come here through independent recruitment isn't lacking in strength. Even if professor levels vary somewhat. Professor Uyan absolutely couldn't say it outright. That's why he said. He just needed to stand a bit faster himself. He'll be able to sign you today. That way. His relationship with the other recruitment professors. Didn't they become awkward? Ju stood there listening. Smiling slightly as you watched Professor Uyan. Just as you were about to say something. Sansulan, quick-eyed and quick-handed, redirected the conversation topic. Our boy is heading to East Polytechnic now. What do you need us to prepare? You don't have much. No need for fussing. Sansulan of course understood your situation. She said then I'll just pack what your father and I own. And what Luosu has. Friends from the live stream chat room. You need to tidy things up first. Ju all saw it. My son is going to university. You want to go with him. After this, I probably won't do live streams anymore. The viewers in chat heard her say that. I'm coming. Everyone is blown away. Hey, stick around. Everyone is blown away. Sis, once you're at university, you can stream with us too. We want to know how Luo Fame is doing. Check out the full stream. We want to know how Luo Fame is doing. Congratulations on having such an incredible son. Now I remember. Wasn't there a senior who said, as long as Luo Fame proves he understands algebraic topology, EAJ is the exam. Hasn't Luo Fame already proven that? A has to ace it. So think of it as an opening gift for Luo Fame. Come on. You also need to help. Classmates, let's organize the arrangements for Luo Fame. Under this senior's leadership, the live chat erupted with over 10 rockets. Even never seen Sun Xiulan handle a situation like this. She was overwhelmed with joy. Then she shut down the stream at 7. She was afraid if she didn't close it soon, more and more people would keep sending gifts. Over here, Professor Uyan had already printed out the agreement. He handed the agreement to Luo Xingguo first. Luo Xingguo waved his hand and said, give it to my son to look at. I don't understand much of it. Professor Uyan's heart sank. Now he realized who was really in charge of this family. After he handed it to you, Ju read it at a glance. After checking the agreement for any issues, Ju signed your name. After the agreement was signed, Professor Uyan then took the other faculty recruiters. Old Sida to have a meal. I had originally wanted to take your family along. But you declined. Professor Uyan thought. This family probably has things to discuss. So he didn't insist on taking them to dinner. When Li Hong saw the agreement was already signed, she knew she had missed her chance. She took this moment. And left. After the group of recruiters left the small restaurant, Teacher Wu asked the classic question. Where are we eating right now? That is not far from here. Isn't there one right nearby? Let's just eat here. In a moment, I'll discuss with Luo about the details of his future. Come on, who got your family to sign today? Professors. Let's have a good lunch and drinks. This round is on me. Professor Uyan had accomplished his mission. His heart couldn't have been happier. He led a group of recruiters. The one small restaurant, just a few steps from Luo's house. One small restaurant owner was actually an acquaintance of the Luo family. There's a small festival coming up, and Wang the dog owner. He saw several people in western suits. Well, after the Luo family walked past, he hurriedly called them in to sit down. A few of them thought the restaurant next door might be more suitable. Don't worry. Our dish is here. Can be tailored to your preferences. Whether you want spicy or sweet, we can do it all. Wang the dog owner poured tea while introducing the recruiters sitting here. What haven't they seen? After they heard Wang the dog owner say this, they exchanged knowing glances. This place and Luo's family restaurant are both small eateries. Looks like this boss has nothing in common with the Luo family. Not really. He just didn't want to trouble them. Oyan told me the facts. But Wang Jie took it the wrong way when he heard it. Hey, customer, you're really something. Speaking on their behalf too. Boss, you're about to offend them. We all came here for Luo Sun. Once the matter is settled, it's not right to pressure them into having dinner. We so many people here for Luo Sun, what could go wrong? Wang Bi asked around. After learning that all these teachers come to invite Luo Feng to university, Wang Bi felt a strange sensation. How could Luo Feng go to university? He remembered he just started high school. Isn't there some kind of rule breaking? Wang Bi had no idea what autonomous recruitment meant. He only knew that to go to university, you had to take the national entrance exam. If you don't take the exam, you can't get in. That would absolutely be going through the back door. Hey, what are you talking about? What rule breaking? A recruitment officer from Qian University had actually not completed his task today, so he was feeling a bit off. Now a small restaurant owner is accusing them of breaking the rules. That made him angry right away. He heard you have to take the college entrance exam to go to university. Wang Bi noticed the other person's tone had suddenly grown stern. His confidence immediately weakened. Boss, I don't blame you for not knowing. A situation like this probably has never happened in your small town before. This is autonomous recruitment. It means various universities can select outstanding students in advance to enroll in their schools. However, these students aren't selected randomly. They need to win awards from national competitions. Wang Bi had never heard of this before. He asked curiously, did Luo Feng win a national competition award? And not just one. Otherwise we wouldn't have traveled here. All the way from Hangzhou and other cities. Hearing what Oyan said, they came from such distant places. Wang Bi found it increasingly unbelievable. Zhu traveled all this way for one kid. Why? Wang Bi asked in disbelief. Because he's a rare prodigy. Big brother, what's the educational standard in your town? Zhu should be quite clear about it. Under such circumstances, Zhu managed to beat a bunch of well-funded top students who won first prize in the national competition. And he did it in all three subjects: math, physics, and chemistry. Think about someone like that. How could the country allow such a person to be wasted in a small town? Wang Jie's expression darkened. Eddie Yeneli, he thought. Luo Feng was just a bit smarter than his own son. But who knew that now someone was telling him? Luo Feng had beaten all other students nationwide and won first prize in the national competition. Now he would have to go to the city for his education. Wang Bi looked incredulous as he stared at Oyan, trying to confirm the answer once more. Yes, after graduation Luo Feng will receive the finest education in the city. Hearing Oyan say this, Wang Jie was stunned. He tugged at Oyan's sleeve and asked, Teacher, my mother is about to take the college entrance exam too. Could you help her and take her with him? Oyan glanced. Atsu, the teacher standing nearby trying to stifle a laugh. Then he said to Wang Jie, Big brother, that gentleman is a recruitment officer from Yen University. Why don't you ask him yourself? Also we heard Yen University's admissions officer was coming too. Wang stumbled and let Professor Oyan down. He dragged Professor Su away with him. Professor Su subtly glanced at Oyan on the way. Tolerating Wang's personality, he kept calling him, Big brother. We do independent recruitment. We only took students who won first prize in the national competition. May I ask, did your son win any awards? School-organized competitions don't count, do they? They don't. Professor Su saw Wang looking dejected. Still, he found it oddly amusing. I tried to comfort him with a few words. Actually, each child's path is different. You don't have to push what your son is good at. Others might not be good at. Right. What your son has. Others might not have. So there's no need to compare. Professor Su didn't expect that his own words would open up Wang's train of thought. That's right, our family business beats the Luo family. We're also wealthier than the Luo family. Later, even if my son can't get into university, he can still take care of him for life. Not like the Luo family, who can't compare at all. Even the money for the restaurant is borrowed. Wang is a blunt guy. He quickly regained his confidence. In his view, the Luo family, except for being lower class, has nothing. Nothing worth taking pride in. The admissions officers exchanged a look. This has gone beyond conversation. Even the meal was spoiled. Standing up, they left Wang's noodle shop, leaving Wang alone, muttering to himself. After they walked out, Professor Su pulled Yan aside. The Luo family needs to move. Sooner rather than later. If we can make them leave today, all the better. Otherwise, we don't know what might happen. Professor Yan smiled ruefully. I could tell. Resentment can twist a person. Especially when you're the Luo family's only hope. It would be so easy to destroy this boy. The way you speak. I guess you've made plenty of enemies before. Now that he's been accepted to university early, news will spread quickly. In a small town, every little thing gets blown out of proportion. Especially something on this scale. If anyone doesn't understand, they act like Wang, just now. Assume he got into university through the back door. Put his whole family in an impossible position. So no matter what, the sooner he leaves, the better. After hearing Professor Su's analysis, Professor Yan nodded in agreement. That's what I was thinking. If everyone's free today, could you help me move the Luo family? The admissions officers gathered around him. Laughing, you still owe us a meal. Next time I'm taking you all to the fanciest restaurant in town. We haven't eaten yet today. So'll we sort this out first? Moving is hard physical work. Professor Yan saw that everyone was willing to help. Feeling a surge of gratitude, a few people arrived at the small food street over 7,800 meters away. After hurriedly eating some snacks, they began to split up and take action. Some went to rent a truck. Some went to buy plane tickets. Others headed back to the house. They got to work strategizing. Is leaving today. That's urgent. Sansulan was still inside the house, slowly packing. As a result, he heard from Professor Yan. Starting today, I'll be going with them. Quite a shock. The school arranged it this way. Mainly to get you to school earlier to report. Professor Yan told a well-intentioned white lie. That works out fine then. Pack up our things right away. Fortunately we don't have much to pack. Sansulan quickly directed Luo Xingguo to tidy up the living room. After Sansulan left, Zhu, who had been silent while listening to them talk, suddenly walked up to Professor Yan and said, "That's the real reason you're making us move right now. Is it because of the Wang family?" Professor Yan gave a surprised laugh. X/diagonal, this kid really is something else. How does he see through everything? When we signed the agreement before, you never mentioned this. But after going to eat, Zhu suddenly made this decision. So something must have happened while you were eating. What exactly went down? Well, it's fine this way too. He was never really the type to get tangled up in social circles. He'd leave eventually anyway. Zhu had your say and then left, leaving Professor Yan standing there in bewilderment. This kid turns out that's why. He doesn't want to complicate things. He knows he'll eventually leave this small town anyway. So he figures the Wang family's existence doesn't really matter. Professor Yan reflected. When highly intelligent people weigh their options, they often consider the full picture of a problem, analyze every possible outcome and consequence, and make decisions that serve their own interests. Professor Yan now realized. He truly had witnessed a living example of emotional intelligence falling short, when in fact it was just the result of high-level strategic thinking. With everyone's coordinated help, by around 5 o'clock, everything at the Luo household had been packed. When Luo Su returned home, she suddenly realized her house looked completely different. Why is everything packed away? We really are moving. So why didn't anyone tell me? If I come back any later, won't the whole house already be moved? Mom and Dad, what's going on? Everything's been packed up. Luo Su stepped inside and started asking questions. Sansulan heard Luo Su's voice. and realized she'd forgotten to tell her daughter about the move, and immediately felt embarrassed. "Su, you weren't home today. I've been so busy. I just forgot to tell you. Your brother got accepted to university. The school has arranged a place for our family. After we pack everything up, we'll be leaving." Losu was stunned by the news. After processing it for a few seconds, she asked for clarification. "Your brother won the national competition." Losu recalled the competition you'd entered before, and said with excitement, "Lo won first prize in 3 mathematics and physics categories. The first person in the entire nation to achieve that level. So we recruitment teachers came over." Losu looked toward the person speaking, and discovered there was a stranger in the house. "You must be Losu. I'm Professor Oyan, a recruiter from East Polytechnic University. I'm responsible for bringing your family to East Polytechnic this time." Losu first felt joy, then felt a bit awkward. Logically, with your brother's scores, he should have gotten into Jan University or Xian University, with room to spare. So how could he go to your school instead? Losu had doubts. But she didn't voice them to Professor Oyan. "I'm just worried that the whole family might have to move. But I just found a job on this end. Oyan held me back." Losu started work. "That's not what the message said when he contacted me." "Losu, did you start your job?" "No schooling." Losu shook her head awkwardly. "Said my grades are just average. The school I got into is only a third-tier university. I figured even graduating from a third-tier school, it'd be hard to find good work. So I decided not to waste the money." Professor Oyan looked at the simple, plain clothes on Losu's body. His heart sank. "I said you went to university. The school can actually help you apply for student loans. No interest. This money you'd pay back after you graduate and start working. What a great opportunity. It'd be such a shame to waste it." Losu nodded, saying my brother said the same thing. "But once I go to school, there is only Luo Feng left at home. If I were home, I could still look after my parents. So that's how it is." It seems Luosu is a genuinely filial child. Professor Oyan recalled the agreement he had signed with you. "I mentioned that I promised you, your brother, besides arranging work for your parents, he would also solve the problem of you going to school, based on your previous grades. After you repeat your final year, our school can directly recruit you. Why would your brother's school not only arrange work for your parents, but also solve the problem of you going to school?" Losu had never expected such good fortune. She said rather incredulously to the teacher, "Is everything you're saying really true?" "Of course it's true. You can ask your mother." When we signed the agreement, she was also present. Losu turned to San Xulan. San Xulan nodded repeatedly. "Of course it's true. Su, your brother even got the school scholarship. 500,000 yuan. If you really want to go to school now, you can rest assured." San Xulan knew that Luosu had originally given up going to university to save money and look after them. So she had sacrificed her chance at higher education. Because San Xulan always felt she owed Luosu something. Now it's finally working out. Jube secured a spot for Luosu at school. She can fulfill her university dream. When Luosu heard this news, she was naturally overjoyed. But she also hesitated a bit. "Your grades could match yours to the same school. From childhood to now. Your grades are the clearest to me. There are many questions even teachers couldn't explain clearly. But you would definitely explain them to her. But now that your brother is going to university, who will explain the questions to her?" After Luosu stated the situation truthfully, Professor Oyan was also taken aback. "Hadn't they expected that Luosu's previous grades were actually thanks to you? These two siblings have nearly identical DNA. So how could their abilities differ so greatly?" His expression became somewhat complicated. "If you truly want to attend university, don't worry about grades. Just study hard during your repeat year. You're already 19 now. Repeating the year, you can still keep up. By then the school will lower the admission score. Besides, the recruitment director said I have full authority over student enrollment. Now that the school has found a prodigy, admitting one ordinary person shouldn't be a problem." Professor Oyan was thinking to himself. Hearing what Professor Oyan just said, the admission score can be lowered. Luosu immediately grabbed her mother excitedly, jumping and hopping. She was indeed already 19 years old. She never thought about it. That she could get a second chance. "They'll go back to university with my help." After Luosu got motivated, she went to call and quit her job at the place where the boss worked. She was working at a delivery station. When she called, the boss was a bit surprised. "Luosu, you found a better job." Luosu quickly explained. "It's not that, boss. You need to go back to school now and prepare for the university entrance exam." The boss found it strange. Didn't they? You worried back then about wasting your family's money. So you decided against it. You owe my brother a lot for this. Boss, I'm sorry. You need to start packing now. Thank you for taking care of me before. The boss had doubts in his heart. Bat didn't say much on the phone. He promised to send Luosu her wages for this period. Her WeChat. Then he hung up. What happened next was simple. Luosu went back to her room. And quickly packed everything. Then set out with everyone. There weren't many good cars in the small town. Teachers who rented 2 7-seater vans. Then drove them to the back of Luo's small restaurant. He said that as the recruiting teacher, we not only help students move, but also double as their driver. We're basically an all-purpose service, aren't we? There is nothing wrong with serving society. Hopefully I can gain some favor from Professor Uyan. Maybe next time I can recruit a genius too. Professor Uyan is our coordinator now. Ju sit in the front row with a blank expression. On the bus, Professor Uyan reminds Luo Fin. We're about to leave. Won't they you say goodbye to your friends? You don't have any friends. Ju look at Professor Uyan. Not sure why he would say that. Most a person have friends. Who says that? Seeing you speak so seriously. Professor Uyan felt his mouth was twitching again. Right. How could someone like you possibly have friends? Professor Uyan was about to change the subject. But then San Xiulan heard what he said and perked up. Professor Uyan. At university. Aren't they all the students as smart as my son? Is it that much harder to make friends there? There are certainly many brilliant people at university. But someone as intelligent as you is truly rare to find. At least until now. You haven't seen any student who won 3 first-place awards in the national competition. Right. You'll be able to go and see for yourself. Professor Uyan also hopes that you'll be able to make friends at university. That would help with your life there. That would be great. You can't stay with your family all the time anyway. That would be wonderful. My son has never had friends from childhood. We're so worried watching him. If not for his sister being there, it would be even more alone. San Xiulan quickly goes to the front row and tells you. Did you hear that, boy? You can make friends when you get to university. Look how happy San Xiulan is about this. She turns to look at Professor Uyan. And asks if people at university are all smart. Why haven't I heard good things about others? Just a bunch of ordinary college students. Does your personality have to be so blunt? Uyan was a bit concerned. Given your temperament. Is genuinely worried you'll become isolated. Come on, that was just a joke. Our university students are all quite capable. Especially those in your major. Uyan wasn't deceiving you. Microelectronics has Professor Xia. The admissions process has always been rigorous. The students here are recognized geniuses. Once you're here, you might actually manage to make a few friends. Real friends you can actually rely on. Once Uyan mentioned it, you got almost hopeful. Your mom was worried you couldn't make friends. So chilly isolated. It was quite pitiful. Ju, on the other hand, didn't see any problem with it. Ju actually enjoyed having time to yourself. Ju could research electromagnetism without interruption. Or solve math problems. But your family didn't understand. They believed people need friends to be whole. Like your sister. Back in town, she had 4 or 5 friends. She even cried when she called to say goodbye. Ju couldn't comprehend that kind of emotion. It seemed pointless to you. But to make your mom happy. You were willing to make a few friends at university. At least that's what you told Uyan. The people here won't be so foolish. Night fell gradually. 7 admissions teachers brought Luo's family to the airport. To avoid unnecessary complications. Uyan instructed your parents not to make a fuss. Before arriving at school. Only when they reached the campus. Gul San Xiulan revealed the truth. That your family had already moved to the city. Once a few friends spread the word. The whole town buzzed with the news. Who would have thought the Luo family, so rooted in the town, actually moved to the city? That's even more striking. Is that it took just one person to make it happen. That day, many families in town started pressuring their own children. They hoped that one day, their own child could be like you. And bring the whole family to live in the big city. When Wander learned that Luo's family had left, it was both thrilled and frustrated. The thrill was, after this area would only have his restaurant. No more business worries. The frustration was, the other family moved to the city before they did. Wander called his son over. Cursing, that brat Luo is gone. You study hard from now on. And you must do better than him in the future. You understand. After seeing his son nod, Wang Yer's anger subsided a bit. Just wait. Luo will stumble eventually. Once in society, he'll still be a laborer. Wang Yer heard that many college graduates still ended up as laborers after entering society. It felt that college students weren't anything special. Son, study well. When you graduate from college, you can just take over the family restaurant. If our family gets richer by then, we expand the restaurant. But while the Wang family fathers were planning their grand ambitions, Lu's family had already left the airport. On the car ride, Yan made several calls, arranging accommodations for you and your family. Lu's family definitely couldn't stay with Luo the student. So, Yan arranged them in the faculty dormitory. While you, having arrived at school a month earlier than everyone else. So I could only find a dorm that doesn't have a full occupancy to arrange for him. They'll make it convenient for you to interact with others. Professor Yan made the final coordination with the dorm administration. It placed Luo Feigned in a mixed major dorm where students from other majors were also living. And reassigned the other students to different dorms. Only 2 students from the microelectronics science and engineering major remained. Before taking the plane to East City, the other recruiting teachers had already boarded other flights and left. They still had tasks to complete. So Luo Feigned didn't come with the family. When the family got in the car heading to East Polytechnic University, they were stunned by the scenery outside the car window. There was actually the sea. A family that had never seen the sea before was all captivated by the azure expanse stretching far into the distance. Ju, who had always been trapped in your own world, were also drawn in by the vast ocean. This was his first time seeing the sea. The salty and humid air seemed to drift over from the sea. You breathed in the unfamiliar scent. And the upcoming life filled you with anticipation. East Polytechnic University covers an area of 3,130 acres. With over 30,000 students. It is now lunch break time. Everyone had finished eating and was leisurely strolling around the campus. When Professor Yan had the taxi driver drive into the campus, it naturally drew quite a bit of attention. Which professor is this? He actually drove this route. Aren't you afraid of getting fined by the principal? Besides, didn't they say that cars can't drive near the dorms? And the moment it entered, there were 2 taxis. That's bold. I'd like to see which professor would dare to be so audacious. The students crowded around to look in the direction the taxi was heading. They discovered. The taxi first stopped in the direction of the staff dorm for a while. Then headed toward the student dorms. That's going on. These must be for picking up a student. But the registration deadline has already passed, hasn't it? How is someone arriving just now? It shouldn't be some rich kid, right? Only a rich kid would register this late. After military training ends is when they'll show up. You want to see which rich kid is so shameless. Well-fed students didn't have much else to do anyway. When they heard that the rich kid was arriving to register this late, they immediately became disgruntled. Is someone trying to pull strings? They want to see who would dare to use connections. Right after Yan brought you out of the car, a few students gathered around. Why are these students idle like this? Running over just to watch. Professor Yan was confused and couldn't figure out what was going on. He kept wondering to himself. But when you got out of the car, the people gathered around slightly raised their eyebrows. Professor Yan, the students here don't seem as bright as you described. Them gathering around here is frankly a waste of time. Professor Yan suddenly felt embarrassed. He quickly made excuses. These students just finished their morning classes. And now they just want to take a break. Honestly, what a bunch of slackers. He won't let you stand outside the dorm again. Or else your impression of the school will be completely ruined by this bunch of slackers. Seeing Professor Yan bring you inside, the people who had gathered began to discuss. That young guy is really handsome. But looking at how he's dressed, it doesn't look like a rich kid at all. How come I feel like the other person is so young? It looks like a high school student. What high school student? The way he looks, he should be at least 18, right? You don't know. These days, students are growing taller. He judged based on his temperament. Is definitely not very old. We say face this handsome. I feel like I've seen him somewhere. That's not some live stream room, is it? Hey, don't say that. It's actually possible. Look at this guy, he seems kind of nervous. It doesn't look like the type who does live streams. Students barely manage to land on a topic. And then the discussions spiral out of control. Pretty soon there's gossip about you all over the student forum. Professor Yan brought you to Building 7 dorm. Dorm Supervisor Huang was already waiting outside the office. Dorm Supervisor Huang was already waiting outside the office. You're here. Supervisor Huang, this is your class monitor. Supervisor Huang already learned about you from the files Professor Yan sent. Room 7. I understand you're quite a rare talent. She looked at the expressionless youth before her, and tried to show warmth and kindness. Welcome, student. I'm your dorm supervisor. From now on, whether it's academics or daily life, if anything comes up, you can always tell me. You're not saying you're even smarter than Professor Xia. You catch on quickly. So you won't need help with daily life. My parents and sister are both here. If I have problems, I can find them. For academic matters, I can come find you. By the way, which subjects are you strongest in? Mathematics, physics, chemistry, microelectronics, device electromagnetics, integrated circuits, and electronic design automation. You can tell me about them. Write it all down. When problems come up, I'll know who to ask. What Huanju said was clearly just polite conversation. But after she discovered your seriousness, she became lazy. Isn't there this class president being too sincere? She just casually responded and took you seriously. What is she good at in microelectronics? Huanju said nothing. Ju reacted quickly. Looks like you're not good at all these subjects. Ju seemed disappointed. Supervisor Juan, let's head up. Let the class monitor get some rest. We just got off the plane. We haven't even had time to handle the paperwork. Once Huanju heard that, she understood that Professor Uyan was giving her a step down. She looked at the other person gratefully, and quickly led the way, not daring to speak to you anymore. She was afraid that if she spoke again, they expose how much knowledge from high school. They already forgotten. At this moment, in Male Dorm Building 606, Roommates Guan Jie and Wu Tianmin were tidying up the bedroom. Tianmin, who exactly is this new person? Everyone in the room got reassigned. Why ask me? I have no idea either. After Wu Tianmin wiped down all the desks, he sat down on his own chair. Their reporting time was later than ours. Either he's heaven sent or he has some special condition. Some special condition. For example, Wang Ye's body accumulated so much extra flesh. It's about twice as wide as a normal person. After moving around for a while, he felt exhausted. By this point, Wu Tianmin was already sitting down. He tossed the dust cloth from his hands and sat down. He heard some students have to report late because they're in the hospital. Their reporting time is pushed back a bit. Wang Yi slapped his thigh. Suddenly realized. No wonder the professor had him switch dorms. This is probably because other majors look down on ours. Oh, here come the guys. We need to make a good impression on him. We can't let him feel disrespected. With you around, I feel confident. Whoever dares to bully someone from our dorm, make sure they eat humble pie. And change what we call him too. Call him Box instead. Box thinks you're pulling his leg. Just as the two of them were joking around, the dorm door suddenly swung open. Wang Jie and Wu Tianmin exchanged a glance. Then, under the penetrating stare of Wu Tianmin, he walked in and closed the door. Professor Uyan was standing right at the entrance. The admissions officer had brought along a dashing young man. Wang Yu immediately caught on. This must be the legendary new roommate. Come on in. This is your dorm. Tessa too will be living with you. They're also majoring in the same field as you. Same major. Both of them are studying microelectronics science and engineering. Take a look at them. You might find some common ground. Now, let me introduce you to your new roommates. Under Professor Uyan's guidance, Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie introduced themselves to you. As is customary. Next comes your turn to introduce yourself. Wang Yi thought back to what Wu Tianmin had said earlier. That the new roommate might have some condition. So he kindly said, Glassmat. If there's anything private you'd rather not share, you don't have to tell us. Tianming and I aren't that nosy. Your privacy is safe with us, we won't depray. Your enthusiasm quickly turned into embarrassment. That's the point of hiding anything. By privacy, you mean coming from a small town, winning first place in the National Mathematical Olympiad. And the fact that I'm still only 16. What? First place in the National Mathematical Olympiad. This guy is only 16. Wang Jie and Wu Tianmin's expressions turned complicated. They suddenly realized that all their previous guesses were wrong. The new roommate didn't come late because of any condition. He arrived late for a different reason entirely. The reason was that he was recruited independently. First place in the National Mathematical Olympiad. What does that even mean? He's never won anything like that before. Forget about national awards. The awards he's ever won were all at the provincial level. Is this new roommate even human? He actually won 3 first prizes at the national level. And the most jaw-dropping part was that he also said he came from a small town. Are you sure you're not joking? Professor Juan. Our new roommate is incredible. Wang Ye's mind raced with thoughts. He worried you were just messing with them. He immediately thought about confirming this with Professor Uyan. What could Professor Juan say? He said the principal was just downstairs. Was it that you couldn't open your mouth? Professor Juan, don't you care about your image? Wang Jie and Wu Tianming. This is Luo Feng. A student our school specially recruited. Although he's only 16. He'll be starting his first year at the university with you from now on. Luo Feng is young. So please look out for him. From Professor Wang's words. Wang Jie and Wu Tianming understood the message. Everything this guy said was the truth. Otherwise, the professor would have denied it by now. It's even more exceptional than we are. At 16, he's already starting university with us. That's absurd. Wu Tianming's thinking. Coming to the university. An admissions officer and another professor will accompany him personally. That kind of arrangement isn't something ordinary people can pull off. It looks like what you said earlier was true. Wu Tianming doesn't know if your words are careless. Or intentional. But the first impression you've made on him. He's far from ideal. A kid who acts like a genius just because he's smart. That's the point of pretending. But now everyone's been brought into the dorm. Wu Tianming can only say enthusiastically. Welcome, new classmate. Let me help you with your things. Wang Jie. Let's help the new guy move his stuff in together. Wang Jie saw Wu Tianming spring into action. He had no choice but to hurry over in the direction Wu Yan was heading. Go grab the things he was pointing at. But when they got close enough to see clearly, they all froze. They discovered his belongings were all packed in the cheapest red and blue woven bags. No luggage at all. No suitcases. Wu Tianming immediately understood what this meant. He quickly put his discomfort aside. His frustration with the kid melted away. He grabbed the woven bags and headed toward the dorm room. You three classmates. Get along well together. We head out first. Principal Luo. If you need anything, tell your yellow teacher. If yellow teacher is busy, you can find me too. Look after your family on that end. You just focus on getting along with your classmates. Oyan watched Wu Tianming and Wang Jie actively help carry the luggage. And felt quite satisfied. He wanted you to warm up to them quickly. After finishing his sentence here, Oyan left with Huang Zhu. The two headed up to the 5th floor. Oyan asked these two classmates. Can you be reliable? I don't want to lecture you. But you should have a deep understanding of your own situation, right? Huang Zhu's footsteps on the staircase faltered. He quickly braced himself against the wall to steady his balance. Professor Oyan. Please be assured. I know he's a special talent recruited by the school. Wu Tianming is the third son of Wu, the chairman of East City New Medicine Group. He comes from a privileged family. He has a generous nature. Is good at handling people. Previously, he roomed with students from other majors. His reputation has always been excellent. Wang Ye's family runs an antiques business. He has an open and easygoing personality. Even if a teacher criticizes him, he never gets upset. Professor Oyan, due to time constraints earlier, he haven't had a chance to learn the details about these two students. But now that Huang Zhu has explained, he can finally put my mind at ease. It seems they are indeed suitable. Getting along with him does require some tolerance. This kid excels in every way. It's just that he's a bit blunt when speaking. Yellow teacher, you've worked hard. Huang Zhu has no complaints whatsoever. As I always say, young talents are all like this. Be more careful. That's what matters. With that kind of heart, everything is fine. Is one of the people the school went to great lengths to recruit. This caliber of talent is rare to encounter in your everyday life. This team, I'm counting on you. Your resume is also an important asset. Only then did Huang Zhu realize your importance to her. An advisor's position is inherently difficult to excel in. Many have brought several batches of students who remain unchanged. The path to promotion is narrow. Only when encountering exceptionally outstanding students is there a chance to break the stalemate. Just now she was troubled by your blunt words. At this moment, Professor Oyan enlightened her. She grasped the key point instantly. As long as you take proper care of him, your path to advancement will be much smoother than other advisors. Thinking back to how Professor Oyan used to complain. If she couldn't reach him, she would just come find me directly. Huang Zhu immediately understood. From now on, your every move will be watched by Professor Oyan. Thank you for the reminder, Professor. I will take good care of him. Previously, Huang Zhu was just going through the motions in her position. Now it feels like she's found the key to her career advancement. Everyone is filled with determination. Professor Oyan noticed the shift in Huang Zhu's attitude. She understood she was using advancement as leverage. Successfully earning Huang Zhu's commitment. No ulterior motive involved. Wanting an ordinary advisor to go above and beyond is simply unrealistic. Drawing a basic salary. There is no need to overextend for key talent at the school. That's just human nature. It's a matter of work. Different mindsets yield vastly different results. This is the most pragmatic logic in the workplace. You speak directly anyway. So I can only do my best to clear the path for you. And minimize obstacles on campus. That's all I can do. You still need to handle your academic records and scholarship applications. Yeah, look after that part for now. Come find me anytime if you're unsure about anything. Huanju noticed your simple luggage and plain clothes. Guessing your family background was modest. She quickly asked Professor Oyen when the scholarship would be disbursed to your account. New students have significant expenses. Professor Oyen understood her concern. Indeed, she had won her over. Smiling, she assured you. The school will first allocate a special reward. The scholarship requires going through procedures. The rest will be disbursed gradually. Only then did Huangju feel reassured. Meanwhile, back at the dorm, Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie were helping you organize your belongings. Your clothes were already neatly arranged in the wardrobe. Just let us know if you need anything. Wu Tianming had carefully folded all your clothes and placed them in the closet. He was about to say you should be more careful, when you suddenly spoke up. Everything you mentioned needing to find. Are you being serious or just being polite? Wu Tianming pose. Even never seen someone ask so directly. Once you've said it that plainly. How can anyone call it politeness? Of course I'm serious. Is there anything you need help with? I tried to speak naturally. Can I borrow a book from you? You want to look at the specific content of microelectronics science and engineering. Wu Tianmin had originally planned to set some ground rules for the new roommate, establishing boundaries right away. But he just wanted to borrow a book. Suddenly he felt you weren't so hard to get along with after all. I handed you the book. And even attached his own classroom notes. These are my notes. They help you understand better when paired with the reading. Ju accepted the notes without expression. And flipped to the last page to scan it. Uncertainly, you asked. Is this a stack-based addressing method? Stack address coding in the middle of bed and board and module routing. Stack address coding in the middle of bed and board and module routing. Set the accumulator. SP stands for stack pointer. The SP adjusted stack pointer marker. First move in the carry state, then add. Stack exploration. Extract PSP for the stack top element pointed to by SP, then add 2. Uno the stack top element pointed to by SP for PSP hawk. 2 accumulator addition. Teach PSP from the stack instruction set, operating on the stack top element pointed to by SP hawk to find it. The PP of the current stack's top, pointed to by SP. Push 1 operation is FPSP. SP1 SP. That's the stack operation. That's the base content on science and engineering. That basic content. Why do you still take notes? Do take notes with me. Look at you, Luo Tianmin. Straight to the point, the stack will move the data upward first. Then feed the top data into the accumulator. This simple knowledge. Notice won't they be wrong, at least not in class. Luo Tianmin, you're earning that good vibe. That's what you said. Jip, too direct. Wang Yi stared at your eyes. You should focus on it, learn these first. You just flip the page on cue. Quietly, the first desk in the bookstore, just watch. Quietly, the first desk in the bookstore holding a schematic pointer. Quietly, the first desk in the bookstore, just watch. He never thought this was a full-on course. Is the whole thing really that simple? Ouyang said it's hard, old teacher says it's hard. Ju realized these lessons. They re all the content Jubei already covered in the previous system. Ismailtown bookstore, books for sale. Mostly second-hand lecture notes collected from old teaching material. For you, though, it's the treasure of self-study. Your knowledge storage. At 17, you still had the academic power of college-level learning. Back then, you could fit your study time neatly into the bookstore. That was the easiest, happiest time. Ju can say it. On the way from Professor Xiaoyin and Wang Jie, listening comes in sharp. In first year, you specialize in the major course. That also means it's over for it. We just touched new knowledge. Remember it. That's normal. You won't they keep notes on everything. A studious person's notes are pretty skillful. Notice are just putting the knowledge on paper. Still not stuffing it all into the notebook. Ibe seen the stuff. It all be written in the notebook. It will all be written in the notebook. What you said is the truth. The pattern of what you said is the truth. Don't forget to pass the system instruction. Don't forget to pass the system instruction. Look at the stack word method first, just add it. See it once, and Jueye never forget. Find word method, no. Tres. See it once, and you'll never forget search keyword method, then speed up. See it once, and you'll never forget search keyword method. Wambi panicked, stared at you the money search keyword method. Wambi panicked, stared at you. A picture shot pretty general. 4. You forget my speed too fast. Keep your tone steady. It's the kind of thing that keeps happening again and again, but you can't get by with it. Wang Jie rushed and kept his face while Professor Xiang walked by. I whisper what happened. If what he said is true, then it's the super right brain memory. The right brain development program is abnormal for ordinary people. A camera can record with precise memory like that. A picture-taking camera. Wang Jie. A picture-taking camera. Is it human form imaging, or is it animal form imaging? For this new phrase, two people suddenly came up with something. Two people make eye contact. Aldo's future college students had a vibe like Sometin's coming right away. His stomach is growling unusually. Wang Ye's belly is rumbling loudly. It's already noon. Let's go grab some food. Together. You don't have a meal card. Think Professor Uyan hasn't they given you your meal card yet? Wang Jie grinned. Bats to fear without a meal card. Ego. Ever heard that classic saying? Swipe my card. Ju shook your head. Come on. Brother Wang is treating you today. Wang Yi said, about to put his arm around your shoulder. You quickly sidestepped. You don't like unfamiliar people getting too close. Wang Yi's hand froze midair. He awkwardly rested it on Wu Tianmin's shoulder instead. Muttering quietly, this kid has zero social awareness. The three of you arrived at the cafeteria and got your food. Ju suddenly looked off into the distance. Ju opened your mouth and asked, do you guys know that person? Wang Yi followed your gaze to look over there. A student eating alone. What about him? He ordered a lot of dishes. But only ate a few of them. If it were just appetite. Would you deliberately do that? Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie exchanged glances, both wasteful and inefficient. Nobody would act like that. Is afraid his picky eating behavior will get him excluded by his social circle. So he uses this method to integrate into the group. This type of person habitually hides their true intentions. Not suitable for deep friendships. Ju analyzed it matter-of-factly without any emotion. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie were shocked once again. Ju can read someone's psychology just from watching them eat a meal. That's incredible. Wang Yi laughed and offered you the chicken leg from his plate. Look how accurate you are. It is a big chicken leg as your reward. Ju hesitated for a few seconds. Then you accepted it. Not long after. Your phone vibrated. It was Mom calling. Mom said Professor Uyan is taking them out for a meal. Sis happy knowing you and your roommate are getting along. Sis especially pleased. Before hanging up, Mom told you something. The 50,000 yuan scholarship from the school has been credited to your account. Sis asking how you plan to use it. You want to think it over and tell you later. Ju hung up. Wu Tianming casually asked if your family was worried about you. Ju answered honestly, no. My mom said the 50,000 yuan scholarship from school has been credited. She's asking how to allocate it. Ju sighed. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie's chopsticks clattered onto their trays. This is psychological warfare at its finest. So devastating. Wang Yu whispered to Wu Tianmin. Ju naturally overheard those words. We suspicion, you pretended not to have heard. Ju guys got in. Didn't the school give scholarships? Wu Tianmin laughed and cried, we got in through the college entrance exam. Just being able to study this major is already lucky enough. Where would we get any scholarship? Ju were asking for their honest reaction. Ju posed. Seriously, you two are really great people. There will be other opportunities in the future. The two of them almost fainted. This emotional intelligence. So blunt. Wu Tianmin quickly changed the subject. So how are you planning to spend this scholarship money? Get yourself a new phone. Your current phone has too few features. Ju pulled out your own vintage red brick phone. Honestly, I think it's pretty good. Nokia 5310XM. Durable and practical. One full charge lasts 3 days. Can this phone run WeChat or QQ? No. You don't use them either. Just call or text me, that's enough. Wang, you've shut down completely. I suspect the way you look at him. Like you're watching someone who isn't very bright. Everyone in class uses smartphones. Aren't they you worried they'll laugh at you? Woo, that was thoughtful of you. They use smartphones. Does smartphone intelligence equal human intelligence? It's the phone that's smart, not the person. Switching phones means nothing to me. Wu looked at him without saying a word. Then he asked about the laptop. Do you need one for your assignments? The school has computers I can use. No need to buy my own. Marginal utility follows the law of diminishing returns. A standard computer can't match the school's equipment by much. Yet it costs a significant amount of money. You won't make such an illogical purchase. What you need is a supercomputer. Not an ordinary household computer. Wu and Wang were both convinced by your logic. The thinking of an academic elite. Truly different from ordinary people. On the other side, Professor Uyan was having dinner with your family. Please put your mind at ease. Ibe deliberately arranged roommates with good temperaments for him. And there's a counselor specially assigned to look after him. There won't be any problems. Sansulan wanted to come see you. But Professor Uyan stopped her. Ma'am. Professor Uyan has arranged everything very thoroughly. Don't cling too tightly. Otherwise, the other students will laugh at him. Luosu was also urging from the side. Luo Xingwu, who had been quiet, finally spoke. College students don't have their parents with them every single day. We want him to make friends. Don't worry too much. Sansulan thought for a moment. Then let go of her concerns. Now that the boy is in university, what are your plans after this? The university cafeteria is hiring staff. The work is straightforward. He can arrange it directly. Sansulan looked at Professor Uyang gratefully. Didn't you say you'd help us find a way to start a business? Running a restaurant seems exhausting to me. Working in a cafeteria is easier. No matter how tired I get, it won't burden my son. Su gave up her education for the family. This boy has been studying hard since childhood. Every night, he reads late into the night. I worry there's still so much more knowledge for him to learn. Professor Uyan was deeply moved by what he heard. Such extraordinary talent and yet such diligence. It's truly remarkable. The more I think about it, bringing you here was absolutely the right decision. Seems you want to start a business. I'll take you to see the available space near campus this afternoon. Also, eBay already contacted a school for Su. She can start classes once everything is finalized. We can't thank you enough. Professor Uyan. The Luo family kept thanking him. But in Sansulan's eyes, there remained a trace of worry-fear that your blunt nature at school might lead people to take advantage of you. Meanwhile, Zhu and Wu and Wang were preparing for class. Do you have Professor Xia's class this afternoon? Zhu asked. There is a glimmer of hope in those words. No, there isn't. Why are you losing faith already? Wang Yu looks puzzled. Professor Xia is sharp. You want to see her sooner? Then we'll decide whether to bring out the EDA technology. Don't blame me for not warning you. Professor Xia is the big boss of our department. Taking her class isn't a walk in the park. Big boss. What does that mean? Joy to find out tomorrow morning when her class starts. Wu Tianming shrugs, looking cautious. Wu Tianming pulls out a few notebooks and hands them to you. Ju haven't bought study supplies yet. Also these for now. Ju don't usually use notebooks, but you grabbed a red one out of Goodwill. Ju really like red. Red represents vitality and energy. You like things with energy, then you must like that red beans. Wang Yi jokes. Of course. You're completely shameless. Wang Yi whispers to Wu Tianmin, this kid likes money more than brains. It won't be easily fooled. Wu Tianmin nods knowingly. It only respects smart people. When you enter the classroom, you walk straight to the first row and sit down. Wang Yi is instantly stunned. Isn't this sitting in the first row something only honor students do? Wu Tianming remembers your living conditions and bites his lip. Hisitating. It sits down next to you anyway. Wang Yi sighs a few times and resignedly follows them. It doesn't want to be left alone. The physics teacher Kisan enters the classroom right away. He heard we have a top student from our department. Which classmate is it? Ju raise your hand and suddenly everyone's eyes focus on you. Kejan smiles at the young man and asks, I hear you're only 16. Ju won the first prize in the National Mathematics and Physics competition. Yes, sir. The classroom erupts with gasps. Winning 3 first prize awards at 16 is legendary. Can you keep up with the chip-related physics knowledge this semester? eBay already self-studied this material. Your words cause an uproar in the classroom. So many people think you're being arrogant. Wu Tianming quickly pulls at your sleeve to signal you to stop talking. Gejan is somewhat surprised. It wants to temper your arrogance but also wants to see your real abilities, so he decides to change the lesson plan and explain a problem directly. It writes a calculation problem on the board about PN junction solar cell chips. It asks the class to calculate the short circuit current. The problem is extremely difficult. The entire class falls silent. Wandi is in agony. Gejan watches you and sees no sign of disappointment on your face. It thinks you're just a name without substance. Yosuke-san is about to start explaining. You suddenly raise your hand and say, Professor, there's an error in your formula. All the classmates are shocked and look at the board, but they can't see the mistake. Gejan frowns and asks you to stand up and explain. Ju clearly explain the core logic of the 7-junction short-circuit current. Ju point out that the different doping concentrations lead to different electron and hole contributions. Then you go to the board, and you correct the formula. As you explain, Gisan quickly verifies, and soon confirms you're right. A made a small mistake. A only made a minor error. To ease Gisan's embarrassment, he mentions his recent paper research hasn't been idle. A then talks about his own research direction on solar energy photovoltaic battery component driver microchip power circuit design. This is also the key achievement for which he was promoted. After listening, you've already formed a judgment about Gisan's professional level. After class, Gisan leaves in a hurry. Wang Yu worries, you just challenged the teacher. That wasn't cool. What if this gets reported? Don't worry. Kisan is just an ordinary professor. It won't be that petty. Wu Tianming quickly pulls both of you out of the classroom and whispers, don't say such things here. If someone reports this, it becomes a problem. Our department's failure rate is already 30%. Missing even a small portion of points could hurt your GPA. Even with a perfect attendance score, I'd just barely pass. You don't care at all. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie shake their heads helplessly. That's the arrogance of a top student. Where is the school library? Ju suddenly get energized. It's in that building next door. Ju want to read. You want to check Professor Ku's papers to confirm his real level. Ju Rei crazy. Ju Rei always looking for the teacher's faults. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie exchanged glances. This thought just formed and they already sensed trouble ahead. If we upset Kisan, will this school still have peace? Why go to the library anyway? Let's grab something to eat instead. The roasted chicken over there is amazing. Come on, I'll treat you. Wambi walks beside you and naturally thinks to put his arm around your shoulder. Ju step left to avoid it and shake your head. I'm not hungry. Ju Chu go ahead. After saying this, you walk away directly. Even food can't tempt this kid. He set his mind on confronting Kisan. Who else would you talk like that? It's all for people to eat their own family's food yet you don't behave any differently. What? You still want to attack me? The last 2 days you said you could eat what you had before. Now, you're just going on a rampage and you're already done. Wu Tianmin said it's all because Wang Jie complained. Look, everyone's starting to itch and complain. If it's the one who caused it, then no one gets to stay out of it. Don't worry. ENG handle it. Wang Yi forget it. It can only show up at the bookstore. Jure not very good at minding your own business, are you? How come it didn't they show up? That sudden reaction is exactly so we can check him. Ju saw which one of the 6 classmates, and there were only 3 of them. Wu Tianmin, stop talking. Wang Yi looks like he's about to lose his mind. We're just reflecting his own light. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. Back then, that message about lunch after it got spread ended up on Everione's tongue. Normally, people review different majors, sweets hardly crossed with each other. That's how it goes. Not that it's even an empty spot, and no one can go in because it's me and my. This school kicks people like it's feeding a pig 10 billion times, you still don't get the numbers. That kind of hillbilly method, how could it fool us with our own hands? Wang Jie, think about it. Don't be stubborn. Jure trading your cleverness for a gift to a friend, only good things, no bad things. Wang Jie, Jure being transparent. Your face says it all. Ju didn't they even find the problem in his bluff? You're just doomed if you keep doing this. Wu Tianmin's smile. Another bad move and it's still the same. Any college master can be easily picked apart. I only went to read papers. That's it. Nothing else. And it's still about the bluff in the paper. Everyone should just watch. Just keep walking toward the bookstore. Hurry up. Wu Tianming is already waiting behind. You've never seen this kind of thing. You don't have the bookstore key. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie are going in now. What? Get the evidence first. Ready. Go to the bookstore. Don't make noise. Jure afraid something big might happen here. You come here with no requirements, so the bookstore is still the bookstore. And it's fine as long as it scares you a little. That's still big. Jubei never even seen the first clue. What do you know? Wang Yi didn't they even say it's over? Wu Tianmin just got cut off by his mouth. Think, where does that idea come from? Wu Tianming in a low voice. Wang Yi just walked up and closed the door behind you. It's like you're from some small town. A bookstore is a bookstore. If it lets you in, it lets you in no way, right? It's just like that. Don't look for a half-drafted paper. Go check the ceiling of your brain. Wu Tianming takes you to the bookstore, so you can do it yourself. Jubei never used the bookstore system, but it still knows all the system layers in there. It's all about logic, but in the blink of an eye, you'll find the target location. The 3 of you came to the 2nd floor academic hall. Ju go straight to Zone F11. Take out 1 copy of the midterm draft. Sit down, put your whole heart into it. No worries. If someone's outside the window, don't deal with it in the text. In the exam hall, only a dozen students. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie are posted like statues, and with one hand, you grab a copy. Ju reading speed is ridiculously fast. Ju Chu finished reading 3 minutes in one breath. Ju already finished reviewing the whole set. The old professor's strength is solid, no doubt about it. Gamli rate it. This can't be called noise. Wang Jie's expression is clear enough, no need to force the tone. Then why can't you say it? This is the truth. Professor's capability won't defile. The truth can't be hidden. There are errors in this paper too. If I find the wrong one, then I need to point him out. Say it, and get up. Wang Jie, hold him. Kiri, don't let your hand slip. Don't let the professor lose face. Wu Tianmin, maybe you got the reading wrong. The data in the paper is from repeated experiments. You couldn't see that, did you? How could there be an easy to find problem? I haven't done the related experiments, but the paper has real mistakes. I have to go find him. In my school days, it was always like this. If the professor was wrong, they correct him. In my school days, it was always like this. If the professor was wrong, they correct him. They never even said anything. Wu Tianming stood so close to you, whispering. In here, his professor paper is different from yours. Wu Tianming stood so close to you, whispering. In here, his professor paper is different from yours. The label is version 278. Wu Tianming stood so close to you, whispering. In here, his professor paper is different from yours. There are so many reasons it's just for the review fee everyone made one eye close, one eye open. The scholarship request. 4 years ago, you said the best of it was what you did for yourself, now you're just paying it back. Why? Academic paths are hard too, are you just making up excuses? You're out of your depth. In your heart, it's 1 plus 2, 2 plus 2. Whether it's math or science, it's all about cooperation, so that study purpose is gone. So Ye switched the method. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie stared at each other. Both of them looked like they were smirking, like they were waiting for you to be called out. You want to solve it directly by emailing Professor K. Sure, go ahead. I will definitely read it carefully. Wu Tianmin hastily spoke up. A one-on-one email exchange is way more direct than colliding face-to-face. Do you think he'll make changes if you point it out to him? Will he revise the errors in the journal? Wang Yi shook his head quietly and said it's impossible, the journal has already been published. His paper's already gone to print. Wang Yi shook his head quietly and said it's impossible, the journal has already been published. His paper's already gone to print. There is no way to pull it back now. Wang Yi shook his head quietly and said it's impossible, the journal has already been published. His paper's already gone to print. Revising it would require contacting the magazine. That's way too much hassle. Zhu fell silent for a few seconds, then turned and walked toward the computer area. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie's hearts suddenly jumped. They hurried over. All they saw was you opening your email. Zhu started writing an email. The two of them exhaled in relief and stepped aside, speaking in hushed tones. At least they'd managed to stop you. Sending an email isn't that big a deal even if Kisan doesn't respond. You're just too sincere. Who else would get angry at a professor like that? But if Kujan holds a grudge and tries to make things difficult for you later, that's a problem. There is no way around it. We can't let him take it out on you. Zhu Rei young, inexperienced in dealing with people. The world's complicated. Most likely Kisan will just see it and forget about it. Iteye pass. Your typing speed is insanely fast. Wu and Wang Dante even finished reading the content before you'd already sent the email. That fast. Wang Yi muttered to himself that a rigorous refutation should take at least a few thousand words. Zhu finished in that short time. The content probably isn't thorough enough to persuade someone who's being deliberately unreasonable. Back in the dorm, the question remained. I'm thinking of studying here. It's more convenient. The EDA technology you need me to compile, if I pull it out later without explaining the details clearly, people will inevitably have doubts. Then we should all look at it together. The two of them watched as you earnestly explained that you three are in this together. The early bird catches the worm. Zhu might not be particularly smart, but your effort can exceed what others achieve. Zhu, you absolutely have to argue this through with you today. Wang Bi was so angry his teeth were grinding. Wu Tianmin held him back firmly. The commotion attracted the librarian's warning. Only then did the three of you settle down and read. Wang Bi tried several times to head back to the dorm to play games, but your comment about him not being smart really got under his skin. He gritted his teeth and stuck with Wu Tianmin. Originally he wanted to go back to bed and rest, but your focus drew him in. Unable to resist, he stayed to read with you. Like this, the whole afternoon went by. Not until nearly 5:30 in the evening did Wang Jie urge the two of you to go eat. On the way, you got a call from Professor Oyan asking you to come to the cafeteria entrance and wait for him. Wang Jie and Wu Tianmin originally wanted to check out a small restaurant in the university district, but they could only accompany you instead. As soon as you arrived at the cafeteria, Professor Oyan came over. This is your campus ID 1 card for everything. All meals depend on it. Every level 1 student gets a card with an automatic deposit of 1,500 yuan. Both the cafeteria and university district merchants accept it. Scholarships and student aid will be deposited within half a month once your student file transfers. They be released then. The school is already expediting the process. You should check on your family's situation as soon as you get the card. Everything serán. Your parents plan to open a restaurant in a storefront nearby. Your sister's school is also taken care of. Tomorrow I'll bring her in to register. Are you getting used to things here at school? Ju nodded slightly without saying more. Professor Uyan chuckled a few times before leaving. Do you have money on your card? Should we top it up? Wanbi asked out of curiosity. No need. Professor Uyan said the school already added 1,500. Wanbi suddenly understood the school must have called in a big shot. Someone like that would naturally be generous and wouldn't be stingy. So today you're treating us to dinner. Wang Yi said playfully. Okay. You didn't refuse. The two of them had invited you to dinner before, so this time treating them was just proper etiquette. A small gesture that clears the airs and cleans the face. For you, it's quite economical. That evening, the two of them took you out for skewers. The total bill came to 117 yuan. While that sum was nothing for them, you knew it wasn't exactly small for you. They used the excuse of shopping to buy you a bunch of daily necessities and snacks. The three of you spent the night peacefully, right until early morning the next day. The microelectronics majors all blew up early that morning. Have you guys seen the errata on the semiconductor official website? The latest issue came out directly with the errata. That was fast. So my big shot must have pointed out the issue with a detailed refutation. The editorial board responded incredibly quickly. Which paper had the errors? Gijon's paper on the circuit design of the power supply chip for the basic superconductor battery cells. There are 5 errors in total. Who signed the report? Zhao Luo. Nobody recognizes the name. The whole department is curious about this mysterious big shot. The semiconductor circle is huge, but still who is this Zhao Luo? Nobody knows. All the well-known scholars in the field are familiar names. Nobody's ever heard of Zhao Luo. He searched the entire internet and found nothing at all. At the same time, Kisan was in his office holding a warm cup, engaged in animated discussion. It was bragging about how the number of papers he published this semester already met the conditions for an associate professor evaluation. Surrounding professors cast admiring glances. Kisan felt pleased. He was calculating how soon he'd make associate professor, even fantasizing about treating you as a work tool. Thinking he'd make professor rank early by publishing a few more papers off your work. Your phone suddenly buzzes. After answering the call, a half-smile crawls across his face. The timing is perfect, like it was preloaded. He holds the mug, walks down the stairs, and hangs up after confirming there is nobody around. He calls the next person. Jure-re's so hot. It's all fire, tell me, no data issues. Now the whole student forum is spamming calls. Even the 5 articles people argued about, every one of them got tagged as edited comments. So what do we do? Ju got paid. Ju have to decide whether this mess is worth fixing or not. He hangs up. The atmosphere stays cold, and the 4 walls of the room feel tighter. Tianmin, like a switch, comes in hot. 606. He saw you already sitting there in front of your desk, acting like nothing happened. Stop pretending you don't understand. Get to the bottom of it. Is this what you call studying? But, no class. Ju be fine. Wanbi was also acting reckless, then your parents are in the middle of it. Ju just started an email yesterday, and today the blame flipped. Wan Che. Ju got lured by Zhao Luo's sweet talk. One glance and you believed. Are we really that easy to fool? Even last night, we didn't they play around. 2 people wanted to play. But you can't waste time on that, this is about priorities. Ju didn't they deliver what you promised? In your eyes, playing beats studying. That's a value problem. Did you eat breakfast? Ju haven't they eaten anything yet? The snacks you bought still lined up. The snacks are for afternoon. What you eat should be proper meals. I am calling everyone to eat early. Then Tianming grabbed the phone right when the group had food and dropped a message into the group chat. Wanbi even came to join the chat. Seeing the message, I thought the paper got blamed, so I looked closer. That's when I realized it was wrong. Stand there, body straight. Tianmin. Are you okay? Everyone saw it. Tianmin, didn't they sleep? Both of you stared at the screen in front of the desk for a whole moment. This Zhao Luo's voice, no way it isn't. Wang Jie. Tianmin, you sent the email last night. Today the dataset changes, now Jure saying it's someone else's fault. Zhao Luo is just the alias you use in the name field. It walked up to you and asked you yesterday's email address was wrong, right? It was sent to the wrong professor, right? Jure acting suspicious. But you didn't directly submit the edited draft for the half implementation proof, did you? What? Tianmin, you and Wang Jie. Zhu called out in the same tone. Zhu both said, if the professor saw it, he wouldn't they revise anything? If the citation section was already wrong, and the observation point was off, what would you do then? After Tianming said it, he waited until night to adjust it realistically. He's just trying to make you the scapegoat. Zhu planned it. The professor's reputation got hit, so the logic is simple. We won't they change it. We find the person he can blame. And now you're the one who got pinned. How about this? You tell the truth. If you really know it was you who changed it, then say so. Tianmin. Take a deep breath. Jure about to hand Wang Jie the plan on a silver platter. What else can we do? If we fake it again and don't even know who Zhao Luo really is, what kind of trust is that? I'm not afraid of investigations. Just go after the school leaders, then see who the real one is. Zhu can keep pretending, but someone can still protect the Cholsto nation. Tianmin, the one was smart enough. Don't they want you facing the professor? That's it. If Jure satisfied, tell me why my accusation is wrong. Tianmin, don't laugh it off. Love the drama all you want, but school life is still a small society. Human relationships carry weight. Graves and future routes get decided by who you know and how you act. I'm here for learning, not to manage social connections. If your mistake is unavoidable, then the professor's wrong is not to be told. Are you trying to say the knowledge was mixed up? Right now, Wang Jie is standing there watching, phone in hand. Is saying something in the group chat quietly. Go to the office. A already knows, Doentehi. Tianmin's mad too. Is just afraid his father won't answer his phone calls. First, come with us to the office. Then we talk. Not now, not again later. Wang Jie, hold him there. Two of you escort him down the hall to the office. Ju go on ahead. Ye come after, and then we talk. Doni. Ju don't look guilty at all. But their reactions, yeah. The truth is written all over their faces. Once you get to the office, Tianmin goes in alone. A shuts the door with the same hands. Tianmin and Wang Jie. There is no way they're innocent if they're whispering only at the doorway. Alf professor saw that email that pointed out the paper was wrong, wasn't they sent by you, right? The professor's voice carries compressed anger. You know it should be said clearly. The 5 mistakes are in my paper. Do you want me to explain in detail? Two people outside the door face to face, no extra words. The professor just glanced, and it's clear, the culprit is here. You still want to teach them the topic. Then tell me, what identity are you speaking as? The professor's just livid. You won't they directly take out the professor's identity and squeeze the truth out of you. Professor, I'm a student. That means it's simple, you can see it, can't you? If you've got dark motives in your heart, then you're judging me like you've got a sweet tooth. A weird paper like this. So many subtle wrongs you missed. It's not something you can just shrug off. Since we're students, why didn't you reach out to me first, then you checked the crowded editorial chat first? I ask you, would you rather be right? Your voice is perfectly calm. Otside, Wang Jie lowers his voice. If the professor hears, Jure dan. Jure family, right? Tianmin just grabbed his phone and one quick sound from behind broke the move of the two. Is the professor inside? Professor Xia. Wu Tianming walks in, and it's none other than the city's main host. Your body's still wearing that one guy and one girl's guidance lead. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie are staring at the yellowness wool still looking so smug, showing off like spring. They were both caught inside the act, right in front of them, no way to explain. Find out why, then break it down. Professor Xia signed it. We're just passing, but there is noise in the corridor, and we happen to see it. We're just wait a second. Wang Jie's face went stiff as he slipped into the inner circle with a confident smile. The light blue-mouthed Wang Jie swept that glance across, eyes sharp, then turned toward the office door. Quietly, I ask, is Professor Xia in there? Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie went back and forth, and Professor Xia at the end of the day was the one actually moving first, to recruit Wu Tianmin. Do you want me to help you, sir? Because. Wu Tianmin's voice drops. It's one word, please. As soon as Wu Tianmin's approval came down, he marched right to the door and stepped in quickly. The door opened, and when Wang Jie saw Wu Tianmin's face, he immediately wanted to speak, but his mouth wouldn't form words. A match 3 people standing outside the door, faces all tense, their expressions twisted. M.A.C. Kisan, how did this happen? Wu Qing stares at him, expression calm and cold, no doubt, no hesitation. What a show, right? About your paper topic, do you two just want to chat it through, or? Naturally, you can. Kisan had just arrived and was about to visit the office leader. Suddenly the 3 of them pushed into the office. This can't be about you. Jue been keeping one busy, and your hands are still busy right now. He don't want Wu Tianmin and the others to find out your little move, so he won't open the case. Wu Tianming looks at your back as you leave, saying nothing, all the way to the office door. Doni. Her sharp gaze aimed at Kisan like a needle, then Kisan suddenly felt it. When Wu Tianmin was right there, you stepped out of the doorway to pretend you didn't hear a thing. Wang Jie, Jure really something. Ju just got assigned by Professor Xia. Jure's still brand new. Not too comfortable yet, are you? It's not your fault, you're too quick to put the blame on me, and it's fatal. Wang Jie, you're done for. That's this, pretending it's nothing, then talking big after. First, you don't even eat breakfast properly, so you can't even think straight to find the right food spot. Wu Tianming suggests that. Wang Jie, with a cold face and whispering like a ghost outside the office door, come on, speak up. Ju were just caught red-handed. 2 big-name gentlemen are listening, then it's your turn to answer. Wu Tianmin turns around and walks toward you. Only Wang Jie, rushing to handle it himself, is panicking even more. So Jure asking what Kisan said in the office, right? It's hard to hide your face. That kind of embarrassing voice, so oily, so disgusting. Ibe been puzzled why you never sent the email first. Ju just went looking for him later, instead. Turns out you didn't send the email to him. Ju were just letting him read your email first, and he didn't even understand the real issue. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie went quiet at once. Then you only one thought in your head, screw up the paper. Kisan only wants to dodge the questions. 2 people not even on one track. Kisan, no matter how clever you try to be, you're still going to meet someone like him, someone whose logic oil can't seep in. Ju still think Kisan is just an ordinary lecturer, busy scoring and grading. What a fantasy. Even the job title, the selection, and the number of papers directly hanging you out to dry. That section of the paper, there is no way it can be counted. Wu Tianmin explains. Assistant instructor. How could that level even compare? A proper comeback is simple. If you have two people laughing it off, then don't keep up the act. No need to pretend it's not awkward. Wang Jie's expression suddenly changed, going pale and then flashing. Is emboldened they come to help Wu Tianmin and them. It's been called here, that's it. Wu Tianmin also keeps his head cold and focused. Either he writes it down, or is only allowed to fail Kisan's evaluation. Otherwise, you two will have a bad time after this day. And stop thinking you can eat my fill again. I'm full. I'm not coming back for more rice. No more, not hungry enough. Wang Yi has no power to argue. It just drags it out with a forced smile. Wu Tianmin don't even blink. Then they head to the dining hall, grab 2 meals, and eat. I'm not going. Zhu go. Say your mind and then stop guessing. Go get your work done and check the files. Not eating breakfast is bad enough. Skipping meals on time and messing up your body. Just eat something, period. Wu Tianming from the small clinic said, health is tied to basic knowledge and good choices, so eat up. Listen to your body, not your ego. Zhu started from scratch, and little by little you grew into a system perspective of the whole network. No matter how you slice it, there are always some doubts in real life. Wu Tianming looks at the situation as if everything's steady on the outside, but the substance is off. Zhu, eat with your mouth, and you chew with your tongue. How do you learn to move forward and grab the next spot? Go east, then. Wang Yi leads you to the dining hall, then says no to a two-purpose trap game, and the little schemes are getting itchy. So it turns into running the trap at the dining hall. After the meal, the 3 of them drop their seats and rush, and Wang Jie finally loses his appetite. Eat so fast you finish 1 dish, then run off again for the second. Is stuffing himself without stopping. You can't even manage to eat slowly and properly. You'll take care of your own share. After lunch, you directly walked along the road by the university town and bought 1 hard disk block at the digital store, heading straight up to the 2nd floor computer room. At this time, afternoon nap hours, inside the study room there's only you, and the whole room is yours. Once you sit down, you don't even wait for anyone else to come. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie follow behind, but Jure already locked in. Your whole heart dives into the logic behind EDA technology. Your whole heart dives into the logic behind EDA technology. From what you see, EDA isn't a standard software, it's an industrial-grade product wrapped in software clothing. Blockchain outsourcing. Development replaces one generation after another until the domestic industrial chain is perfectly supported. This is also the core reason behind domestic EDA after development alberik. This is also the core reason behind domestic EDA development. EDA bridges the industrial chain, designs and tests the whole loop of the process, and encodes every stage. Only when you combine with data optimization for mass market chips can you turn it into real skill tree by tree. You read through the domestic chip industry status, then you saw the workload hidden in the calculations behind it. If you can take out EDA software that works and promotes in the other direction, push it into the market. Opening the national-made chip, shattering the mouthpiece. The EDA tech for system design is already unstable. You start writing the hand-in program routing the world's code through your circuit design. On the other side, Yanda University and the lecture halls are as quiet as a grave watching the crowd. Suddenly, everyone's faces tighten, your phone starts buzzing with messages. The dorm common room already explodes with replies, emails and paper submissions. Jure about to be expelled. The original problem isn't the essay topic. After the Vice Department of Review checks your marked papers, it turns out your thesis won't pass. Show your references why the summer team bought the paper. We found evidence that your work was directly copied. The whole class is tense, waiting for the results. Your phone has been screaming for hours. Terrified faces look toward Kisan, as if this is nothing but a mere academic error. But Jure thinking, just hand in the thesis and get to work. Buying the thesis is still an academic crime, no matter what school you call it. No one can stand up to them. Gejan is angry now. His empty, hardcore cheating act isn't they working on you anymore. Class ends fast. Ju load the program you wrote onto the hard drive, then run it on the desktop. Wu Tianming suddenly comes over, telling you the good news: your expulsion notice has been sent. Jure just the quiet kid who gets overlooked one thesis problem, and they want you gone. It's not that the thesis is wrong. The entire thesis is just a purchased fake, therefore, it's flawless. Told him. Wu Tianmin understands. You only have to speak up. That's it. The moment they label you, only the buying people are guilty, nothing else matters. This is not about taking the blame for a teacher. So this final test is for Huajitich summer program. Wu Tianming lifts his head. As soon as I see your face, I'm already waiting for that sharp smile. I'm not asking for it. I'm just waiting for your summer assignment to start. Wang Yi and Wu Tianmin both walk behind you, whispering, why are you so calm? The sound in your ears hasn't even landed yet. Wang Jie's voice keeps looping in your mind. A safe-looking scan, clean speech, then everything turns into a mess. Two of you walk into the classroom, only to find you're already seated in the first row. Below your calm face, the only thing left is the skin. In the main lecture, building the clustered EDA software circuit, that chip course is the real test today. Integrating multi-door technical knowledge difficulty is extreme, but the rules are strict. They call you the student Mad King. Audio rings out, this summer student takes the trial. See the announcement board enter the room, the test begins. Your desktop flashes only 1 second, then it's already cut. Everyone watches these tests unfold like a plan, no one just wants to guess. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie even know your face is serious, this exam's difficulty isn't a joke. You don't have the answer in your hands. Luo Feng looks at you, your tone is calm yet you enrolled without touching the course yesterday. This time's test. You don't have to join. She hands you a step-down strategy on the spot. This is a super high difficulty fusion problem. The root is, no writing, no notes. You narrow your eyes at her. Teacher, you ask. After you get the definite answer, you nod, then you're in. The whole class has been throwing expectations like confetti, yet they think you're too naive to escape this thick reality. This course is hard, no joke about it. And Luo Feng won't they stop now? Is diving into the trial. In the classroom, the silence gets cold. Everyone has lock onto the questions on the exam paper. Every face shows the same look. Study committee members can't even hide it. Luo Qing watches the class closely, listening with their eyes for a single move. Dip down, it's all disappointment. They think the weak student is basically done. But at the moment the vice dean says the question, you suddenly eyes on the professor start answering. You can do it. The whole class holds its breath. Everyone is staring at you in disbelief. They think you must be writing on instinct, no sweat. Luo Qing quickly steps up to your desk and takes a closer look at your test paper. Her gaze lands on the last FPGA problem. This one is way beyond tech level, plus the difficulty is huge. Her gaze lands on the last FPGA problem again. This one is still far too tangled, and the difficulty is brutal. She thinks, if no one can solve it, you can't. But you're still writing like that's enough. She thinks, if no one can solve it, you shouldn't they even be writing. And yet your solution is clean. She thinks, if no one can solve it, you can't. But you're still writing, your work looks solid. She thinks, if no one can solve it, you shouldn't they be writing. And yet, your logic is flawless. She thinks, if no one can solve it, you can't. But you're still writing, your answer is already locked. Big directional RTL code logic, every step clear, and the answer is 100% correct. Group-lit RTL code logic, every step clear, and the answer is 100% correct. RUW RTL code logic, every step clear, and the answer is 100% correct. RTL code logic, every step clear, and the answer is 100% correct. The more Luo watches, the more shocked she gets. Jure handling FPGA and the IP core. Self-study. You kept your nerves steady. You already ran your calculations twice. It's not wrong. Luo Qing brings doubt back to the podium, starting to revise your test results. From the selection cuts all the way to the solution, she lands every point perfectly. She spends half an hour every hard point confirmed in your answer, no leaks. Altered. She spends half an hour every hard point confirmed in your answer, no leaks. Her heart is full of disbelief. Next class bell rings. Luoying sits down, and quickly batches and revises all exams, then seals them. On the podium, she announces, this time, only one classmate gets a perfect score, is the main pick. The classroom goes silent. Everybody has light up disbelief and jealousy in everyone's face. The new student Luo Feng actually pulls a perfect score on the hardship test. You still don't understand this trick. Why only you get all the blame? Luoying looks at you. The real question in her eyes is, if you can solve problems like this, your thesis can't be a fake. Send her the acceptance letter. The one who sends it is you. Your phone got a reply. Did you really turn it off and block the messages? Xiang just said it, your class is all about fraud. What a joke. Everyone knows. Jure, the so-called genius in tech fraud. Look straight at me. After that, Xiang tests you, then opens the trap on purpose and asks you to solve it. Submit a better optimization plan. How to do it for the Vivado IP core flow and stages. Listen closely. Pay attention. Your trust thoughts are so loud it's hard for anyone else to breathe. Only someone like you can stubbornly keep staring at the blackboard. After the trial, Xiang assigned the homework. Waiting half a month. You want full standalone development of an IP core? Impossible. Then you just submit a design idea. If you want to add me, do it fast. But your question is clear, your logic is weak, and you have no skills. No clue without QQ or WeChat. No, only phone calls and short texts. Contacts like that, I am refusing. Xiang, you only call or text right, then your email works. Send it now. After Xiang leaves, Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie come up and try to block you. Your detailed academic performance people will think Jure the one who truly earned this recognition. 2 minutes later, you start hearing a whisper, someone filming your awkward side profile. You're not supposed to listen to me and talk back to the same topic. After Wang Jie leaves, Wu Tianmin discovers that the study group's committee is full of tricks. As for what he said, usually it's just trying to get someone to solve one thing for him. But on the surface, that look is fake. Wang Jie already has it in his head to use small tricks on you. Wang Jie wants to borrow Someone's mouth to say it, but you already cut in, so this problem is that simple. Don't lecture. You still want to do something while wasting Everione's time. That's just pointless. Since the hall is testing you, you can refuse directly. What kind of arrogance is this, Junior? Are you talking to me like that? Tam Don walks in like is about to grab your clothes. Tam Don, if you want to challenge, come at me. Try teaching your lesson with your hands. Tam Don's grades are high, yet his character is still as low as it gets. A grabs at him, but his hand just gets pushed away. We deal with this later. But this problem, if I don't come and teach you, you'll just keep talking. Wu Tianmin's face holds a slight smile. It looks at Luo Feng's point like he's already decided something. Tam Don doesn't look good when he sees Wu Tianmin face to face. A gives in after one glance. After everyone leaves, Wu Tianmin smiles like, oh like, Wang Jie, no worries. Strong body, good health. Have you ever seen anyone like this, Eber? Wang Jie turns back to look at you. You just had your chance to connect. Wu Tianmin, no way. He wouldn't be sent out to a stage without you. Wu Tianmin smiled. It's not because you have no personality, just because your mouth is full of contradictions. And this the only one was wrong, or is it me? You really are shameless. Wu Tianmin just explained. Luo Feng is actually a student, good grades, great vibes, and love for research. If Xiang didn't even show you mercy, you don't get to run ahead and pretend you earned it. Your fraud is locked in. It only sees you as someone who can't tolerate others succeeding, always looking for the right year for you to slip up. Every time you rate someone else, you say you're just pure students. That's definitely how it really looks. It's like you're full of sweet talk, too sugary. But you'll still get exposed soon enough. Wu Tianmin and Wang Jie look at you for a second, then they can't stop it. Someone like you has no morals, no more jokes. Eat your fill, then go. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything at the cafeteria is fine. Wang Jie takes the photos, sends a suggestion. I'm not going. Wu Tianmin, why are you suddenly talking like that and refusing to go? Not eating is not an option. No food, no body. I need to go see my parents. Your look is creepy, staring at me, not even speaking. But everything I said was, you remember, like camera-style notes. You can forget it. You can't take it back. Camera-style notes. Wang Jie and Wu Tianmin just said it. Now you finally understand why the idiots always think like normal people. Simply. It was born with it. Not fair. Not fair. Algebraic topology research and engineering forums, what do you have? So what? You don't have algebraic topology research or an engineering debate. Wang Jie keeps shouting. Forget it. Even if you shout, it changes nothing. Wu Tianmin has no patience, asks you. Your parents are in Dongqing. In University City, they run a store. You mean it lightly. Two of you say it at one same voice. We'll follow you. They think your parents are the kind that can raise someone like you. What kind of parent can do that? You don't have to be opposed. Two of you still come to your parents. Chop. Don't pick on me. Where did this come from? A girl, starting from the back room, grabs you by the sleeve and holds you with her hands. Your class starts already. This is your classmate. When the girl sees you, Someone is watching with big eyes, suspiciously curious. And this is your first time bringing classmate home. Hi, we're his friends from his place. I'm called Wu Tianmin. The other one is called Wang Jie. Wu Tianmin takes the lead to introduce. Hi. Could you help us? Wang Jie is also very polite. The girl looks at two kids' happy faces, just a simple eye-catching act. Min Tian prepares to open shop. What sells is the specialty food from her family. Wang Jie has a strange habit. She tells you to sit down and then just starts slamming you with questions. Ju to move aside. The kitchen stove is on. Fault's about to come out. Right now, you're messing with the IP core algorithm, turning external audio into automatic optimized output. Wang Jie also says this makes your life easier. It's all real. Yesterday and today you just keep it quiet. Your whole family's shop in the University City. It's all your credit, your talent. Your sister-in-law hasn't even had time to sit down. Yet you and Wang Jie already walked in, simple and fast, then called her. Fast food, good drinks, and that sizzling meat smell. Wang Jie and your sister-in-law both eat like they mean it. Juju looked at each other's expressions. She thought you'd say it first, but you insisted. You just had to take the lead. After Wang Jie walked in, you grabbed the situation and spoke up straight to the point. 500,000 yuan school fees. But for you, May and your dad didn't make you do anything. Now that you're in college, it's all on us, our part. At home, there is a live-in auction of sorts, 6 $10,000 blocks. That's enough to cover it. She stretched out her hand, touched your head lightly, said it clearly, a one-person escort, and she'll come with you to Dongqing. Until now, you still don't have your own place. Your parents have been eating and using your shit, always keeping you in their hearts. Hurry up. Tell her you're not allowed to slack off every week, help her, and you do answer to Gomeon. When you open the envelope, Wangje will slide that 500,000 bank card into your hand. You got the bank card, but you still didn't dare touch the money. In ordinary people's eyes, that 500,000 could be invested into stocks. And you understand buying the wrong stocks might still be worth something, but it's not the key. The value in your hands is the core tech you control. Spending it like a tourist is worse than just locking it down at home. So what's the most efficient way to win that money? And you still have your own 3,000 plus ready to use. That 500,000, you calculate it, leave it as emergency backup. 7p. Tonight you didn't go back. Instead, you went straight to the library. What you did with the summer schedule going into that profession of yours was just too much. It's like you've got built-in power. Simple as breathing. But you were still asked to split it into smaller pieces. You didn't even put your internship into your own focus, you just continue writing your code. If you're lucky, the library's public computers should work. There is no fully functional development environment. You want to develop EDA. Weak computing power means you can't even get past the complexity. And the distribution files formats and boards are messy, though. You realize immediately you need a real professional development platform. Dongbligon is a research university you can check in fast. The school has an advanced computing training center. Right then, take the phone and send a short text to Xiang. Xiang, I want to apply for access to the university supercomputing system. Her reply, she said it's just spam garbage short messages. Look at the content, then you got hit with even more shock. She said the assignment she set up can't be used at all. Ju suddenly came up with this kind of requirement. Let her not wait, but don't delay either. Are you sure you want to show up and make it look like you're doing it for her? Xiang just kept thinking, she should invite you straight into her plan. The research project starts from the fundamentals. Juye grow fast if you keep at it, big results will come. She handled it in seconds and directly got her own super account ready for you. She encoded it and sent you the credentials same time, the invitation too. Every month you can use 300 hours free. That's enough. Besides, you get to join my research project. The direction is chip layout and base software. Ju finished the short message, found the answers. Xiaoqing's approach is good, but in the end, it's still a single research track. No way to carry a whole chip industry change with it. And what you need to develop is a full, integrated EDA. A complete set of advanced design for manufacturing pipeline. One upgrade at a time, massive improvement. Now that you're in the project, it's only because a few random roles are something you can do if you want. But you can't do pointless, low priority work. For now, you won't join in. Xiang looked at you, replied with a smile, then no restraint at all. She broke your head and shattered it with her thoughts for her project. A few students, still trying to break your head and fit it into her project. She took the initiative to invite you, yet you rejected her. She didn't know the real reason behind it. It's on a deeper level, your own label is more intense. And at this time, Xiang already saved that memory step by step. The development collaboration with 7 EDA software. The 7 EDA software research. Right now, the brightness of the country signal, wait for it, quickly prepare for the next replacement. EDA is one core toolbox. Throwing money at it still won't be enough. Even software gets controlled by foreign corporations. Foreign EDA is often used in cooperative factories. Equipment vendors keep asking about the key module licensing issues. Huajitach's industrial chain follows. A miserable situation already hits you in the face. That's why you must own the complete set EDA. It's already become a thing that looks good on paper. Xiaoqing's ready for it, recruited the top East Polytechnic chip major. 17 standout applicants join the new project. Selecting the standard template is the closest IP core topic. A message pops up, more than 200 students instantly enter. They better move in and grab this opportunity. And right now, the system has already started processing officially. Move point activate Yopiskvarik. This is the summer point activate Yopiskvari system. The provided technique deepens understanding, Hotawoistvam. The provided technique deepens understanding, Hotobistvam. The provided technique deepens understanding, Physikdvai. The EDA boundary routing model, Physiadvan. EDA's boundary routing model. Circuit design sandbox verification blocks. In the sea of your brain like an endless jigsaw, perfectly clear. At 10 sharp tonight, call me. Jure only 1 hour ahead, get ready and stay here. After one call, King Yi in the wild will announce it to you. Professor Xia, this time in the big admissions round. Didn't they even think Jude be that interested? Say it plainly, I know what I know. Professor Xia, Ibe already heard what you said. In your mouth, what you said, Wu Jie will remember it. We're here only to follow the crowd, only then do we know. Wu Tianmin, Jure really making me nervous. What do you want? Go into the project. Say it calmly. Say it evenly. Accepted. In attendance. Accepted. John, two of you, end the video, convey the invitation yourself. Two of you end the video, convey the invitation yourself. Fine, I don't buy it. I don't trust it at all. Wu Yi clenched the file in your hand, and use it to make you explain it to me. Ju waved it off, no expression at all. Let me explain what I need to do now. It has higher value because it's in the project. If you don't go, then the choice is wrong. Wu Tianmin, don't go out and talk nonsense. Professor Xia don't delay. Use the simplest example, follow what I explain. It's like mom made a side dish for everyone, right? If you say she can't eat it, she'll be stuck with it. Ju already figured it out, you just need one head answer. I won't they talk to Professor Xia in front of the problem set. Wu Tianming has passed by your IP core content is all pointless nonsense. Ju can't. I saw the time. It's 9:45 p.m. At 10 o'clock, ENG finish at 10 minutes past. Ju still have half an hour. Half an hour is enough if Ju re willing. We can start now. Ju Chu are busy. Take notes and we'll start the lecture. An IP core is a function designed in advance and verified. Blocks can be assembled into different circuit systems. Wu Tianming used it an example to prove it. No matter what, your goods still learn how to be independent. Even if I approve it, it's still a comparison. Connect it, teach how to build the IP core structure. Design a computer monitor setup as an example. It points out state, mean, and data in real time. Collect the key signals and route through the computer. Directly write the code one generation. Wu Tianmin and Professor Xia watch the screen, code will show up. When the program is done, the white self will compile and write the base. Ju calm down, there is no difference. That's it. Two people don't hang around, it's not convenient to talk. Alright, study, don't waste time feeding your headless routine. While coding, they're cutting the book pages, letting them read. At 7 o'clock, go wash up and rest. Wu Tianmin and Professor Xia debate again until late night. Shake it, hands clack on the keyboard. Keep watching, it's required, bring the coding skills down. On the second day, Ju be drunk. At that time, two people are still sleepy on the desk. Ju tilt your head slightly, go straight. Overclock the center. After that, every day you keep this rhythm. Every day, you both inhale and exhale, lecturing for half an hour. Class time isn't a class time. It's just EDA and the development center. ADA's programming volume is extremely large. Good news, system support technology is unlocked. Ju can keep exporting code, but right away. With this short time, it's still hard to complete. Ju score points in the system commercial plaza 5 points. Allow it one more time. Automatic compilation. As long as the logic in the box is clear, it will work. In a few seconds, the corresponding code is generated. 3 days later, once the effect is over, Ju already completed the 9 out of 10. Your little stunt started with a cracked open case. Only after finishing the full EDA software development, comes the JP release. After you finish all the tests, you hand me all the code. After you finish all the tests, hand over all the code. Akaheit. Installed the 7 disks. Samir will be back at school, how do you keep the disks safe? Give it to her. The question you need to study. If you work together with the disk, it might go smoothly. A perfectly stable method to drop it into someone else's hands. Then do it personally, hand it to Summer. Samir and Ouyang have deeper collaboration software-wise. In the end, it was Summer or official channels. Say anything you want. Ju can only accuse her, me, neighbor. We just need to find the most reliable route. Let this result hit the exact value it should. By the second day at noon, Summer returns to school. Eat first, then text her. If you want to say there are development results, you should plan it with her in advance. Samir, you're doing this as coursework. Ju go to class with the other students, and then you collaborate. Stick to this. It's important. She needs to watch it alone. Only then will Summer understand. Agreed. Ju go to the office and find her. Bring the disks and go out the door. 1 p.m. Wu Tianmin are working too, not many questions left. When you reach Summer, enter her single office. Just slide the red disk through. All the work is inside. Samir suspects it, so the whole chain should be able to find the root. No need. Don't make it such a big deal. Just. After Summer plugs the disk into the computer, something will trigger. The installation package labeled LUVMX. Extremely harmless. There is a fake system inside. You only need to install it to open it. Samir will scan it. The setup completes. Then the screen. A simple L icon shows up. Then the moment she hesitates, her face will change. The scene compilation tool, tool consumption. Physical verification design compilation tool. Real tool consumption, physical verification. Physical verification, time slot analysis. Physical ba. That whole package is just one EDA, Física. This whole package is actually just an EDA software. Packaging design like this. It's just an EDA software. When she stares at you like that, what kind of move is she really planning? The EDA software I developed myself is the product. Every job carried out with that kind of calm air. The super center is done. It can be verified with monitoring. Development will be kicked off immediately. With enough. With enough, and there is a reasonable explanation too. Samir, don't bet on blind confidence. EDA research isn't only hard because it scares LVMB. Physical ver EDA development isn't hard only in code. It needs the full tour of the data pipeline. Only a few EDA tools exist domestically. So how can you possibly make something special? She even suspects Jure only offering existing software. Swapping the interface, or just making empty shell frames. Samir assigned you to use foreign mainstream EDA. Is it swapping skins, or is it just using shell frames? Conveniently known. Samir doente say more from the documents anymore.Ficialeriation. Samir doente speak from literature anymore. If there is a problem, verify this circuit diagram. Physical. Verification. If there is a problem, verify the circuit diagram. When the software instantly reports precision errors, the red warning line appears. Fast love shoots the sky. Machine speed love parses the sky. Running smoothly, no jitters at all. A perfect precise result, not a hollow shell frame, or its shell swap. Somer's heart starts to panic, like a wire sparking. Look at you. Serious, right? This is really your independent development. It can provide every line of code. You have no gray area to hide. Samir looks at you, and you already know her real feelings. Brace. Don't let it wait. Grab the phone and call. Dial the Wahi admissions number. Lo Xingguo is at room 2012, experimental hall. Is the A department empty now? There is someone here hiding a surprise reveal.